fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
What is going on? What's happening, guys? Told you I was coming back. Y'all thought I was lying, huh? Y'all thought I was lying. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna show up and talk some more WWE 2k23 on this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Is everybody all ready and cozy to talk about this Cheddar McCheese that we're just a few weeks away? Can you believe it? We're just a few weeks away. No more talking. What up, Chase? What up, Daquan? Decided to upgrade from Icon to Deluxe. You mean downgrade? I'm back. What up, Marco? I'm hyped about Bray Wyatt. Yeah, so Bray Wyatt was teased. You're asking where the members are? I mean, member. I see I don't see ers. The members are sleeping tonight. And it's funny because in the afternoon I said, hey, we're going to come back tonight for another stream. You know, where the members at? Members are coming. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I will be there. Decided to upgrade from Deluxe to Icon. Ah, you're going to get that John Cena cheese, huh? You want to get that OVW? I'm afraid I have some bad news. You're up? Wake up. 1 hour away from your birthday? Nice, Louis. It's about to be your birthday? You're about to get crunk? You're back for the stream. I see you, Larry. Braun Breaker retained tonight. Yeah, so you guys want to, you know, start off talking about that since we all pretty much predicted it. Let me go to Twitter here. Let me go to Twitter over here. We're going to go to NXT's Twitter page, see if they posted anything about that. I didn't watch the match, unfortunately. But here it is. What just happened? Grayson took a page out of DX's playbook to send a message to Shawn Michaels.
Right now, I've turned the whole show off. I guess I run this now, lad. Hey, Mr. Michaels.
That Grayson Waller storyline, they've done a great job hyping that story up. Now he's challenging Shawn Michaels. He ain't coming out of retirement. Damn, I like Braun Breaker's attire, man. He got all these colors and shit. It looks like, you know, 90s and 80s cheese. Ooh, look at that spine buster. He got freaking Jinder Mahal. I see Veer is there ringside too. Oh, wait. Braun Breaker jumped outside the ring? Oh, my goodness. He did that same flip Drew McIntyre does. Braun Breaker is a demon. They had a good match. Really good match. I want to see how Jinder's doing, man. Dabba-Kato had a good promo against Apollo Crews. Everybody has a good promo against Apollo Crews. Montez the GOAT. Montez is awesome. Omos versus Brock. Oh, man. Don't even. They did the movie Popcorn Trick on me. What's $20 if you're spending $100? That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. For $20 more, you save by getting the extra stuff early. You get some My Faction stuff if you're going to be playing that. You get, you know, the OVW young version so you don't feel left out. You get to, you know, add them to your universe or whatever story you got going on. And, you know, it's not like it's a bad, you know, it's a bad thing to have. It's just they overpriced it. It's not a physical copy with collector stuff. So, you know, guys, we have 29 people and only 11 likes. This stream is going to freaking die off really quick if we don't get more likes than that, man. Honestly, if we don't get more likes than that, this shit is going to... We're going to have to be like, how's it supposed to feel? Good night, good night. Oh, yeah, I'll see y'all later. Well, come on. Let's get with the program, y'all. We need them likes. We need that boost. We need that energy, man. Veer Mahan is coming to Raw. I don't think he's coming to Raw anymore. Not for a while, at least. NXT Roadblock is March 7th, so they're having another pay-per-view. Well, a premium event. Think it'll be cool to use OVW Cena. Yeah, you know, honestly, I gotta be real with you guys. I have no interest in using any of those OVW talents. I really, really don't. Acknowledge me, Dewey. Acknowledge me. I was pulling for Jinder, so it was the crowd. Man, that would have been great. Lex farted. I farted, man. I farted in your face. I like to stream the first minute. All right. You liked it? All right. Okay. Look, I'm going to make it really, really easy for you guys. I'm going to make it really easy. I was going to do a members only 1 hour. Like I was going to add that to the stream, right? Because Jay and I were going to sit here and chop up talking about the same stuff we mentioned in the afternoon, but also, you know, kind of go over the wrestling stuff that's been going on in the programming. But I'm going to make the voice chat lobby. It doesn't. You don't have to be a member. You just have to be a member of the Discord community. So if you're part of the Discord community, start joining the voice lobby. It's one of the channels. Actually, you know what? I'll move it to the top so you guys can. Let me see how I could adjust it. Hold on. Just start joining. If you guys want to be in the voice chat, just start joining. Join the voice lobby. I'm setting it up. Let me see how can I hold on a second, cuz edit category. Here we go. All channels. I was trying to move it to the top. It's not letting me right now. I guess voice lobbies you're not allowed to, toss up the voice chat. It's all the way at the bottom. Just join it. Join it all the way at the bottom in the Discord. Let me drop the link for you guys. I'll join in once we have, a few people in there. So you guys can tell me what you're thinking about WWE 2k23 and all the news. What up, leader? You're Alex? Okay, Alex. So join the Discord voice chat. I see we got Marco in there. We got Purge. We got VJ. We're doing it absolutely free. You don't have to be a member to be in the voice chat. We're doing a little audible here. We're supposed to have at least five plus members. But we got VJ and Chase, and it's not that that's not good. It's just that it's just not as many people. So because it's not as many people, we're going to include all the people. So join in on that conversation. Join the voice lobby, and I will be in there shortly. Here in a couple minutes. Join in a second. Am I still able to watch the stream while in the call? You should be able to. Discord works like a voice call, like a phone call. So it works like in the background. It doesn't need to be opened up in the front. You're just gonna hear me twice. That's the only problem with that. So unless you pull up the stream like on your console or elsewhere, it's gonna be a little annoying for you. I thought they were gonna use the white and gold attire. All right, I see we got Alex, which is leader. We got 4 people up in there. All right. I see you guys. I'll get in there in just a second. But yeah, let me pull it up, even though we talked about it in the afternoon. So WWE 2K had a Twitch stream today, and they teased Wade Barrett. Bad News Barrett was teased. As you see there in the middle, it says Bad News Paper. Wade Barrett was also teased last week with the 30-day countdown showing John Cena jumping into Wade Barrett. And this is the second teaser for Wade Barrett, as you see right there. And then on top of that, if you look closely on the 2K logo, you will also see the Bray Wyatt logo. Very cheesy, very cringy way for them to kind of promote it, but it's still fun and cool. And SmackDown Hotel was covering the story as well. Next week, they're going to be doing another stream over on Twitch. And it seems like we may finally get some DLC information. So for anybody that is pre-ordering, the special editions, what up, Straight Edge? But, OVW Batista's going to suck your blood. Leviathan. Bro, I keep leaning into this and like my face is getting cut out with the camera. It's just funny. I got to move it a little bit more. Like leaning over here. But yeah, so we are getting some more information next week, and I think it's going to be some DLC teasers. I'm sadly at work, so my phone is the only thing I got. Hey man, so just join in. We got Brian in the house in there now. We're about to join in, guys. We're about to join in. Just waiting for everybody there. Byron, stop spreading false news. I know. Stunna, join the Discord call. Join our Discord community if you haven't already. I'm waiting for more people to join. I want everybody to be in there real quick. And he only said he's had a conversation about it. Wait, who's WWE has rumored pay-per-view in Puerto Rico where Damian Priest will face Roman Reigns. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. And Bray first DLC pack or else. So guys, the reason I'm calling for everybody to join in on the conversation is simple. It's just so you guys could go in there, share how you feel about WWE 2k23, share how you feel about what's going on with the story. What up, Jay? Jay, you woke up, man. We're waiting for you, man. We're waiting for you, Jay. We're doing the free voice lobby. Everyone is free to join. We're going to talk it up. The bunny, yeah, the bunny with the fake news, man. The bunny with the fake news. All right, let's join in here. Let's see. It's an open lobby. Just hit voice lobby and you'll be there. Yo. Join in on the conversation.
What's up?
How's it hanging, guys?
Hanging, that's for sure.
Marco, hear the little echo of the stream, bud.
I muted it already.
All right, wake up, bro. You were knocked out?
Yo,
In a
what's
couple
up,
minutes?
man?
All right. What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing.
All right, so who wants to kick it off? Who wants to kick off how they feel about whatever you want, whether it's screenshot you saw, intro, rating, information, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Literally whatever you guys want to talk about, WWE 2k23 related. Whoever wants to kick it off, go ahead. It's up to you.
So, I was thinking, like, since they're teasing Wade Barrett so much, like, what do you guys think his rating's going to be?
Wade Barrett.
I'm gonna go with an 87.
87. 88.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. 88.
I mean,
you saw what they gave Sammy?
what?
They're like, they
I would go with
Yeah,
86.
they gave Sammy an 84. Keep in mind, if they're going to give Wade Barrett a high 80, I mean, it has to be almost prime Wade Barrett, and it depends which one you're going for. It's probably going to be Bad News Barrett at that point.
Nah, I think it's gonna be Nexus Barrett. Because
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think it's going to be Nexus Barrett because, like, the image they teased, it was like,
It's all
Yeah,
bad
but
news.
That match, Cena won it. So if they put, they have to put a match that
Yeah, but he's not in the
that
showcase.
Cena
though.
lost.
No,
He could be the surprise match.
He could be the surprise match, but remember, it says bad news. Let me see. Let me pull it up here, so we could show it.
Yeah,
on the
bad
screen.
newspaper. Yeah.
So,
I mean, they
news-
could do they could, do Nexus Barrett, but, like, they could have two versions of Barrett, kind of
Yeah,
like what they did
exactly.
with Batista.
Exactly.
Wade Barrett did beat Cena before.
Yeah, but it wasn't the bad news one. I think.
No, that was Nexus.
Yeah, it was
It was Nexus Barrett, and then Bad News lost to Cena for the U.S. title at in the UK.
Like, kind of like what they did with Batista. Because, like, in 2K22, they had 08 Batista, or 2000. I can't remember what year it was, but you unlocked him, and when you unlocked him, you also unlocked the current Batista.
All right, so you're intrigued by Wade Barrett. You're intrigued by his rating.
Yeah,
Man, I just hope Bray Wyatt's in the game, dude. He's my favorite of this generation. So
Really?
Wade was always one of my favorites growing up. Same with Jack Swagger, but
Okay, you know what? That's actually let's piggyback on what you just said. Bray Wyatt being your favorite of this generation. Not that that's a problem or anything, but Straight Edge is a huge, Bray Wyatt super fan. And I know there's plenty of people out there. So the fact that you brought him up first, very intriguing to me. What is it about Bray Wyatt that's so appealing?
just his creative mind and all the supernatural type shit he does.
All right. So, okay.
All right.
Yeah, fair enough. So you like the horror element.
Yeah,
He's
pretty much.
different than what some of the other people on the roster do.
Yeah, he does some crazy stuff, and he really shouldn't have lost that belt to Roman in 2020, but it is what it is.
All right, so here's
Bray Wyatt, like,
go.
oh,
Go
my
ahead.
bad, Lex.
Nah, you're good. Go ahead.
Like, not like, fucking Bray Wyatt. He's always been, like, I really liked Bray Wyatt back when he was the Fiend, and
Which is his
I
most
also
demonic
enjoyed
form.
him.
Mine was the Fiend Father.
I also enjoyed him a lot when it was like full on Wyatt family. But
It
when
still
he
bothers me how they had freaking Goldberg beat the Fiend.
That pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie.
So at Hell in a Cell, they ruined him.
I was mad at that.
like
Yo,
I missed the
Hold
Wyatt.
on.
family.
Purge. How old are you, Purge?
26.
All right, wait. Who's the one that was talking right now before? Who's sounding like a young kid?
That's Marco.
No,
That was not me, bro.
I heard somebody
Oh.
really, really young talking, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I sounded like it was Purge because the mic was moving.
Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah.
Oh,
think it
I
was
think
me.
it was no, it was Leader Alex. He left. Yo, Leader, you're still in the stream, right? Yeah, it is. It is him because he's in a different time zone. That's why I was like, wait, who? How are you awake at this time? All right, so man, what up, James? So I like Bray Wyatt. I have a very, very complicated relationship with my fandom for Bray, though, because I'm not like, how do I say this? I'm not all in to the point where like I got shades on and it's really like hater blockers where I just like whatever he does. Like I'm very, very specific with what I want out of him as a character, persona, or even in-ring performer. And I think that the Bray Wyatt right now is probably the worst Bray Wyatt we've seen. And I'm just being honest.
And I think
It's all right. I mean, I like it, but my favorite was like the 2014, 2015 Bray.
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
my one too.
And
I
think
think
about
the current
this.
Bray.
I'm not trying to bury him or bashing him. I just think that we haven't seen his best work. He's just been coming out and doing a whole lot of nothing.
Oh,
That's what he's
I
always
love
done, though.
exactly what he's been
No,
doing.
he has, but come on, like to me, my favorite Bray Wyatt was probably the Wyatt family stuff.
That's Yeah, will always be my favorite.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Wyatt family stuff, and then there was few spots and moments with the Fiend where I felt like I really liked the Mr. Rogers gimmick. You know, the multiple
The
personality.
Funhouse, the
Yes,
Firefly Funhouse.
Yes, yeah, and I can't say Husky Harris is his worst form because Husky Harris is not Bray Wyatt. We're talking about the character Bray Wyatt. I didn't care for Husky Harris. Husky Harris was just a generic big dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd say the current Bray Wyatt is the second worst Bray Wyatt. I'd say the worst, in my opinion, the worst Bray Wyatt is like that weird time he spent with like Matt Hardy and like.
Oh, the Eater of Worlds.
Well,
type.
see,
I
yes,
didn't really enjoy that.
when he like lowered his value, if you will, and joined Matt Hardy. But when that feud was starting, that was like, I don't know if you guys remember, but when Matt Hardy was in TNA, I mean, everyone was talking about it. What Matt Hardy was doing in TNA was amazing. He was the guy there, and he was doing Bray Wyatt type stuff with the Elite. And when he came back to WWE, beside the Hardy Boy stuff, the main thing that everybody wanted to see was Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy. So it was kind of like Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. It was a dream match, if you will. You know,
and when Matt
Yeah, but
brought
they
his
made Brock
broken
and Bobby
gimmick
look.
to WWE, that's all they thought
Hold
about.
on, one at a
was
time.
Bray
One at
versus
a
Matt.
time, y'all. Go, VJ. Go.
Yeah, when Matt brought his broken gimmick to WWE, then that's when they really wanted to see Matt versus Bray.
Yeah. Well, that's when everybody was all for it. Nobody wanted to see Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy versus Bray. But what I'm saying is that when he signed to WWE, that possibility became a reality. And it's something that people really, really wanted to see, myself included. And I thought it was all right. But, you know, Michael Cole making fun of it on screen wasn't good. You know, it wasn't good that they did that. And, you know, I think that the way it ultimately ended, it was just very open. They never resurfaced it. Matt Hardy kind of fell off, if you will.
Yeah.
So.
And in the Hulu portion of Raw, didn't they cut that match out?
Yeah, they did. That was another big deal. A lot of people didn't even get to see it because it wasn't on Hulu. A lot of people were complaining around that time, I remember.
And that was the main event.
See, Straight Edge says, I think current Bray is the best. We just don't know what he about yet. That's the thing. I can't say. Maybe looking back at his return at Extreme Rules and, you know, the LA Night match and all those things that he's doing, maybe I'll look back and be like, wow, this was the beginning of something special, right? Just like when we first saw Austin Theory and doing the whole Vince McMahon stuff on the main roster, we'll always look back at like, oh, that was the start of like his John Cena moment, if you will, where John Cena said ruthless aggression and he fought Kurt Angle and lost. So maybe I'll look back at Bray Wyatt's return as the start of something special for him, you know. But right now, in the thick of it, I just don't see how this is exciting. It feels like it's been dragging. And if they're going for storytelling, then give us wait, who was the one that said that it's his favorite to see him in the game? Was it Purge?
Yeah.
Oh, Purge. Yeah, Purge brought up that that's his favorite or whatever. So if they're going with, you know, the fan service, fan favorite and all that stuff, and you said you liked him because of all the horror and demonic stuff he does, well, why don't you just have him do those backstage segments and record it? You know, record it and make it supernatural. Give us that Undertaker element. Mind you, Undertaker did a lot of stuff live on screen, you know, in the ring, but he was also built up as a character with Paul Bearer and backstage segments as well. So I think that they need to do a lot less Bray Wyatt. Like, I just don't like Bray Wyatt going out there, sitting on a chair and saying, see, you know, you guys changed me. You guys are so great. And I'm going to fight the winner of Brock versus Bobby Lashley. I'm like, what? Like, who is this buffoon?
I've seen reports like online, like people are so confused on what's going on with WrestleMania with Bobby Lashley and Brock, because like you got Bray, you got
I feel
Wyatt,
like it's going to be a triple threat.
It's like how many people are challenging?
Somebody's getting left out. Somebody's getting left out.
Anybody gets left out.
Dude, they haven't really done. I think when was the last like premier triple threat match outside of Edge, Roman, and Daniel Bryan? Like, I'm talking about like main event level storytelling where they do a trio story like that.
I gotta think of WrestleMania 20.
I can think of the one between Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte.
All right, yeah, exactly. But
then there's Seth, Finn, and The Miz for the IC title.
All right. But my point exactly, we haven't had a trios main event storyline since Daniel Bryan, Edge, and
Roman.
Yeah. And how amazing was that match? That shit was freaking spectacular.
It was a good match.
Yeah, so if they do Bray, Brock, and Lashley, those are three guys that, well, Lashley out of the three is the one that wrestles the most. Let's be honest.
Yep.
So
yeah,
those are three guys that are barely wrestling, period. So maybe add a fatal four-way element there.
Even Brock had more matches than Bray this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's be honest, Brock. It would have been funnier if you said John Cena, because John Cena fought only literally one time at the end of the show. I mean, at the end of the year.
Speaking of John, I can't wait for his return.
Bro, all right, The Fiend going down was a low blow. I get it. The Fiend and Bray Wyatt being waived or fired, whatever. I get it, but we're past that already. We're in 2023, February of this year. And Bray Wyatt has been back since October, and he still doesn't have his character established.
He's had one match, if you don't include the
no, yeah, he's had live events.
Let's not talk about live events, because those matches are probably like 30 seconds long anyways, but let's not even talk about those. That shit don't count. We're talking about story. He hasn't done anything besides LA Knight.
He's had one match. That match was... It was a cool spectacle, but the match was trash for both superstars.
I just think that they need to do like a triple threat match between Elias, Rick Boogs, and LA Knight. All three of them all very similar, and all of them very charismatic and good in the ring and on the mic, and they all have nothing to do for WrestleMania.
Yeah, like it absolutely.
I need them to do Brock versus Gunther at WrestleMania. That's all I want.
Yeah, but you know how Brock is, man. When Brock faces young talent like Gunther, man, it's gonna be a squash match for Gunther to get the big win, and Brock is just gonna like bend over for him like he did for Drew.
Yeah.
Like Brock is not gonna put on. I'd rather get Gunther and Sheamus.
If Gunther and Sheamus have another match, Sheamus has to win.
Or do a triple threat between Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus.
I wouldn't mind that at all. That would be all right. That's fulfilling my thirst for a triple threat.
That would either have to be the opener or like the main event of one of the nights.
Oh,
I'll take it as the opener to hype it up. Yeah, I'll take it as the opener for Saturday.
If that's the opener. That match is gonna it's gonna be one of the matches that like people are
banger after banger after banger.
I think we need Sheamus in there again.
Sheamus.
And I would like to see Sheamus win that IC title.
Sheamus says he wants to retire in the next 5 years. So like.
He needs at least one more title reign.
At least. I really like Sheamus. He's one of those guys that to me, like in my head, I really, really see him as a main eventer. And he's had very sweet, small runs in the main event. He's been more. He
has like a health issue or something like that, where it's like it's kind of like
spinal scoliosis.
Yeah,
same thing Edge had,
and Matt Hardy, and
really,
yeah. So like eventually his spine and his like pelvis are gonna like fuse into one bone.
Spine curves pretty much.
Well, the way I read it online is that spine and pelvis are fusing into one bone, so eventually he won't be able to like move around.
So what? He has no butt.
Hey, I'll join right back.
All right. Sheamus needs that Gunther match, and to win the IC off of him, that'll be cool.
And I think the IC title is the only title that Sheamus has never held.
No, it is. It is. I don't think Sheamus can be a consistent draw, let's be honest. Yeah, but that's the problem with any champion from overseas. And
Sheamus's issue is that they keep putting him in the mid card. If they want him to be a top guy, they have to stop putting him in the mid card. And I don't consider the Intercontinental title mid card.
Well, the thing is, bro, what BG's is saying is not wrong. Sheamus is not gonna sell out a whole arena like Roman is, or even Bray, for better or worse. He's not gonna, like, I could go down the list of people that Cody Rhodes now, obviously.
I don't know. Sheamus was pretty over back in Clash at the Castle.
No. Yeah, but where was Clash at the Castle? If you're doing the overseas shows, he's gonna be over.
Yeah, true.
Sheamus is gonna be, if they do Clash at the Castle, might as well have Sheamus in the main event. Can't think of anyone else that's been in WWE longer and more deserving. So the problem with Sheamus is that he's just not that guy, bro. And he's been a great villain. He's been a great.
He used to be.
Nah, but even when he used to, because I like him. I like his style. I like how brutal he is. I like his even the big Irish accent, and like he's very loud and proud, and he wears.
Sheamus was
my favorite Sheamus was 09 till 2012.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
That was the best. That was him on a skyrocket to the moon.
He was actually he was the first shirt I ever got when I was a kid.
It was the first one?
It was like the first piece of like WWE merchandise I ever got was a shirt from Sheamus. My friend got it for me for Christmas, and
that's awesome. No,
mine was
yours was who?
Sheamus's debut. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, Sheamus's debut. He won the WWE title on the main roster.
Like 4 months later.
Months later. Yeah.
Months later.
You know that
it was within his first year. It was
in his first year. Yeah.
First 5-6 months.
He won it in 4 months.
Yeah, fun fact. That summer, it was July 2009. Sheamus was on the ECW roster, and I saw his very second match televised. He had just debuted the week prior that I went, and it was my first show ever, and I was sitting front row. I went to go see SmackDown, and I remember seeing Sheamus and not knowing shit about him. I didn't know anything about him. I heard his theme song, you know, I think it's written or Written on My Face. Yeah, I loved the theme song. I loved the Celtic Cross. I love that he did the white noise, you know, which the Celtic Cross is Razor's Edge. You know?
Yeah, he did the Razor's Edge.
The bro kick. I like how loud he was. Just everything about him immediately felt his impact, and ever since that day, I was a fan. So when he beat John Cena fell off the turnbuckle, bro, my jaw dropped that day. I'll never forget it. It was at TLC that same year.
Yeah, and it's like one of the fastest. Like he was like one of the people who won the WWE Championship fastest.
You know that, right, Rodney?
What happened?
That when he beat John Cena with the table match, that it wasn't supposed to go that way.
Oh, so he wasn't supposed to be champion?
Nah, he wasn't supposed to win.
John Cena slipped?
Yeah.
I've never heard anything about that. I mean, it could be true. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't know
I saw
that.
it on the WrestleMania, whatever, YouTube, one of the top 10 countdowns bullshit that they do.
Yeah.
It was on the list of like top 10 like botches or some bullshit like that. Like WWE, whatever.
I also heard Rey Mysterio wasn't supposed to win his WWE title. That's why they put it on Cena on the same night.
I was so mad about that. I wasn't.
Oh, you're talking about the one that happened on Raw?
In 2011.
Yeah.
Ray and Miz, right?
Wow, bro, that kind of changes. It kind of changes how excited I was, because I thought that John Cena did a phenomenal job selling that he fell off by mistake.
Nah.
So he did fall off by mistake.
Yeah.
Wow, what a good mistake for Sheamus.
And then what?
Yeah, because it was a tables match.
At least they didn't reverse
it.
Whatever. Yeah, he had a short reign, but at least they didn't reverse it instantly.
No, at least he got a reign out of it.
Yeah, like
and he won the world title like 2 years later.
Let me look up some Sheamus fun facts since we're on the topic. Let me look up some stats for Sheamus. Let me see how many times he's been champion and all that. Sheamus, WWE.
I hope we never see another Goldberg match.
Wow,
Me too.
that's disrespectful, dog. That's I will not tolerate any Goldberg slander. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't mind if it's against another like old timer, but like it better not be like new talent. Unless he's pushing him over.
What time he won the title?
Dolph Ziggler was too quick.
That Goldberg Undertaker match was such a disappointment.
And the whole reason that match happened was because of a bar fight that they had.
In my opinion, Dolph Ziggler is an old timer as well.
So look, I wasn't lying. So it says it right here. Sheamus soon entered into a critically well-received rivalry with Goldust. I think that's the match that I saw. Or I don't know if. Let me see, because it does say here that he debuted on June 30th, 2009. I don't remember when. Let me see. I have the disc.
IC title, or not the TLC pay-per-view, I think was in December of that year.
Technically, he debuted in ECW.
I went July 14th, 2009. I have the disc because I recorded it on TV and I saved it to a CD. I have that on a DVD with my first WWE show, and I come out on TV and everything. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was July 14th. He became champion in December of that same year at TLC. Sheamus defeated John Cena, making him the first Irish-born WWE champion.
One of the fastest.
Yeah, he captured it in just 160 days since debuting in WWE, making it the third shortest time to capture a title since his WWE ECW debut.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's was within 6 months.
Yeah, like they just like.
He also won Breakout Superstar of 2009.
Sheamus was the guy for like good 4 or 5 years. It's just that Vince McMahon started on him.
Well, he won King Sheamus. He won the Royal Rumble. Whatever. At least I don't feel like a dickhead for being such a big fan. He was definitely a big guy till 2013.
Yeah, Sheamus is a 4-time world champion.
2012 Royal Rumble winner and went on to beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds at WrestleMania.
There. It's so funny because now that I think about it, I was at some of his like big moments in his career. I was there at that WrestleMania that he beat Daniel Bryan right away. I'll never forget that.
I think he was on Team Cena against the Nexus too.
I'm like one of the only people that was like cheering that he beat Daniel Bryan because like at the time I didn't really care.
Yeah,
about
me too. No, me neither.
I like Sheamus more than Daniel Bryan.
Me too.
I watched that. I watched that with my dad, and oh man, that was awesome. It was right before he had his stroke and got sick too.
Oh shit!
It sucks, but that match was freaking dope as hell for being a quick match.
Yeah, nah, it was a shock factor, bro. The big shock factor.
Like, but other than the John Cena rivalry, my favorite rivalry with Sheamus was probably with Big Show.
With Big Show. Let me see. What year was that?
Had some good rivalries.
Like, nah, bro. I think the Sheamus Cesaro rivalry was the best.
I forgot about that one.
And then they had that 7 stages of best of 7, and then they ended up teaming together after that.
Oh yeah. That was one of my favorite tag teams.
Okay, I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer, although that was a great story. I think that feud and story with Cesaro is what led to a hampering of Sheamus's status.
You think so? He didn't do the Cesaro stuff till later, though. In 2013, he became U.S. champion. That was kind of after he kind of went and stayed in the mid-card.
Same time.
Nah, bro. It was like 2015.
Yeah, bro. And he went into I'm looking at it. He turned into the League of Nations 2015, 2016, and he didn't get with Cesaro till the bar was in 2016.
When did in 2015 he won WWE Championship from Roman?
Yeah, because of the help of the Nexus and Triple H.
Nexus?
Wait,
or not Nexus, League of Nations, my bad.
Oh, okay.
I was about to be like, what?
2015, bro. It was Triple H had told Roman to join the Authority and all that, and Triple H said nah, and Sheamus came out and bro kicked him and cashed in.
Dude, they have all right. So I see here, Sheamus is a 3-time WWE champion. He's a 4-time World Heavyweight Champion and a 3-time United States Champion.
He won the tag titles a shitload, though.
Oh yeah. He's bro. Him and Cesaro put on amazing matches. Him and Drew McIntyre put on amazing matches.
Cesaro,
bro, that match between the New Day and Sheamus and Cesaro, one of my favorite tag team matches, bro. When they beat the New Day, beat their record, and took the Raw tag titles.
No matter who Cesaro teamed up with, it was a banger of a team.
Yeah, the problem with Cesaro, it goes to show, man. A lot of people bash WWE for not working with him, and a lot of people talk shit about WWE, Vince, or whoever the hell that they didn't believe in him. Look at him in AEW, man. And I think Cesaro, I've said this on stream plenty of times like a broken record because I like him. I like him as a performer. I like him as a person. I think he's very legit. He's very capable. But I don't know what it is about him that...
He needs a manager.
Yeah,
I think it's a case of first impressions. You never get you never get a second chance at a first impression. And since Cesaro was never really... At the beginning of his career in WWE, he was never really booked strong, and now people just have that perception of him.
I don't agree with what you're saying, man. He went to AEW, and as soon as he appeared in AEW, they made him look like $1 million, and he won his first singles championship, the ROH stuff and all that.
He beat Zack Sabre Jr. in his debut match.
Yeah, but hold on.
Still think about his WWE career.
No, but forget it. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm
not saying whether that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's the way it is.
I get it.
People view him.
Listen
Like,
to what I'm
Cesaro-
saying, though. It has nothing to do with people viewing him. I'm talking about Cesaro as like the talent himself. He gets on the mic and he is the same guy that he was in WWE. Wherever you put him on the card, he is the same exact guy with the same exact issues. It wasn't a WWE problem. It wasn't how they booked him or how fans perceive him. It's Cesaro himself. He's the same guy you see on Twitch playing video games as the same guy you see in the ring, fighting, Sheamus or fighting freaking Dean Ambrose, John Moxley or whatever. It doesn't matter where you put him. Cesaro just, it's I don't know if it's his tone or his mannerisms. It doesn't work for him to be a big superstar. It keeps him very, very capped off at the mid-tier level.
Also, Cesaro wasn't necessarily not booked strong when he first debuted in WWE. He won the U.S. Championship pretty much right away.
And they made him seem like a classy wrestler, like a super wrestler. He would come out, they would mention how he knew 7 languages, and he would cut promos, in English and in whatever town or whatever native language they were at. And he had his moments and he had his spots where he got good pop, but I just think that at the end of the day, a lot of people blame WWE for his lack of success. And I'm going to give you an example. Have you guys seen Gunther? Me and Brian talked about Gunther so many times because he's like, oh, Gunther's just a bigger William Regal or whatever. You could say whatever you want about Gunther, and yeah, he may have a lot of similarities to William Regal, but look at Gunther's mic skills, his demeanor, his storytelling elements in the match. I think that's what Cesaro has in his own favor. He's a very good storyteller in the ring, very poor communicator on the mic. He comes off as cheesy. He doesn't come off as strong, and he doesn't look like $1,000,000. He doesn't look like a guy that you could put the world title unless you book him in an underdog storyline.
Yeah, I think they tried with Cesaro when he did go after Roman, but it just failed because
he beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
The reason
that was a good ass match too.
It was a good ass match.
When Cesaro and Roman went at it for that month, for the reasons you said, I just don't think people could get behind it.
Nah, he was the underdog in that story. And look at the difference between the underdog and Sami Zayn and the underdog. Mind you, yes, it took 9 months, the bloodline, the funny humor, all that bullshit. I get it. All that works towards Sami's favor. But to my point exactly, Sami is, at the end of the day, a character and performer combo, whereas in Cesaro is more of just a performer.
One-dimensional, right? You're saying?
Well, he's a good wrestler, the poor entertainer.
Yes, bro. I think my favorite Cesaro that I had the most hype for him was when he was with Paul Heyman, but it didn't work out either. I don't know why.
I liked him whenever he was teaming with Jack Swagger and Tyson Kidd and all them.
Zeb Coulter and stuff.
Oh yeah, man, that was my favorite. That was my favorite Jack Swagger was Zeb Coulter.
When he first came to WWE, he didn't know much English, so I mean, it was kind of.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Cesaro.
Oh.
When Cesaro first came, he didn't know a whole lot of English. I mean, yeah, he spoke some, but sometimes you could barely understand what he was saying.
That's why they had him with that chick whenever he first.
Oh yeah, he did. He was with a girl. Yeah.
It was Oksana, I think her name.
Oksana, she was terrible on the mic too.
She faded.
True, but
she was gone in 2 years.
Yeah, she was really bad. I remember her, and she tried she tried dressing super sexy or whatever.
It reminded me of I always draw comparisons between Oksana being the first trying of somebody that was kind of like Lana.
Yes. Dre says Cesaro's a better mid-card title holder. Look, man, at the end of the day, I've said this plenty of times, you could still have a favorite that's a mid-card, champion, or I like to call those guys mid-card main eventers. They're not your typical mid-carder because they're just a little bit above the pack. To me, even Sheamus, now that he's been a mid-carder, he's still above the mid-card scene. You get me?
He's I'd love to see Cesaro in
He's a locker room leader, man.
Oh yeah.
Be a world
Look,
champion.
Like,
Bro,
isn't that kind of what Macho
Listen
Man
to
was?
what. Hold on. Listen to what Brian said though. Could you imagine if Cesaro was an Imperium instead of like that dude Vinci or whatever?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you
That
imagine?
would be an amazing stable.
That would be, bro. Because I like Ludwig. I think Ludwig and Gunther are perfect. Vinci, I don't know. I don't know too much about him, but
I always seen him as a smaller Cesaro.
yeah. So imagine having Cesaro in that stable. Oh my god,
That would be an unstoppable team, man.
Yeah.
Even everybody in WWE says that Vinci is pound for pound the strongest guy in the WWE. I'm like,
For real?
wasn't that Cesaro?
Yeah, that was Cesaro. That was Cesaro.
Like, go look at some of Vinci's matches. They even say he's pound for pound the strongest guy on SmackDown.
So
or
I mean,
NXT.
so
It's
you've seen him wrestle. What's his shtick? Like, is he good? Like, well, what can you say about him?
He's basically a carbon copy of Cesaro, except he's like a foot shorter. He's like a foot shorter and like.
So Brian, maybe that's why you were missing Cesaro and Emporium. You just know Cesaro more, but they already found Cesaro Jr.
But I think Cesaro's a better wrestler though.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of this guy, but I do think Cesaro would have been better anyways. Cesaro would have made that stable super extra legit.
Like, because Cesaro wasn't just all strength. Cesaro,
he had speed, he had athleticism,
but he had creativity. Because I remember,
he did.
Because I don't know, like the ages of everybody in here. But when I got back in, because I missed the entire Ruthless era. And then the whole like PG-13, I got back into watching wrestling like in 2011, I think.
You're old,
and
man.
That's when Cody was like doing the transition to like Stardust.
Oh yeah. I remember exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, and so when I was watching, I remember perfectly like it was yesterday when I was watching Stardust, and I was like, man, this dude was clearly like one of like the most creative wrestlers like on the roster, and this was back then. And this is when like Dolph Ziggler and all these people were like big like mid quarters.
Yeah.
So the reason I mentioned that is because another one that stuck out to me was always Cesaro, because everybody always focused on like his strength because he looked stronger than what he looked like. But to me, it was like this dude was just as creative in his wrestling set as Cody was.
No, yeah, for sure. That's actually the perfect comparison right there.
And nobody talks about it. Like he's not really a high flyer, but when he got up there, he did spectacular shit.
Bro, I love his spinning uppercut, the one that he's like jumping towards.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And on top of that little thing that he does, the uppercut where he hits you with the forearm and shit like that.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
To me, that's like equivalent of the same shit as the shit that Goldust and Cody does, where they jump onto when they drop to their back and do the fucking punch or the kick.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
Like it's just like their whole moveset is just unique.
It is.
So nobody really talks about Cesaro that way.
Like
for sure. That's really what drew me to Cesaro. It was never the gimmicky spinning people around, in the 360 or whatever. That to me was just funny, and that he was able to hold on to that for so long. But it was really the uppercuts that he did, the springboards that he would go for, and it was just exciting to always see. He would always put on really good matches. That's no doubt about it.
I mean, all this praise for Cesaro, like, yeah, he deserves it, but like, in my opinion, he's always had like one of the worst finishers in WWE. The fucking Neutralizer. Oh, my bad.
Oh, wait, you don't like it?
I didn't like the
Neutralizer.
Neutralizer.
Like the Neutralizer.
Hey, bro, I use that move on WWE, and I be
bro. He puts his arm between your legs, and then he drops you. Come on, that's like the Styles Clash.
Yeah, but the Styles Clash looks like it actually has impact to me.
What? It's the same shit.
I got no problem with the Neutralizer.
It's literally an inverted style clash. Like, that's what it is. It's inverted.
It just doesn't look like it has impact to me at all.
To me, it looks exactly like the Styles Clash, and I don't have a problem with the Styles Clash either.
I mean, I like the Styles Clash. Like, Styles Clash, wasn't it banned for a while because it almost injured somebody? I forgot.
It was Yoshitatsu they injured.
Because with the Styles Clash, if you don't tuck your head, you're landing on your neck
No.
every single time. So
I thought it
when they
injured
first,
James Ellsworth or something. I could have
so
sworn.
when AJ first came in, Vince didn't let him do it.
Vince
Like
also
that?
wanted him to stay away from TNA stuff as much as he could, and then Vince finally gave in and realized, well, that's where all the star power is.
I could have swore it was like banned for like a while because he injured James Ellsworth with it or something.
No, immediately when he came in, they didn't let him use it.
Yeah,
No,
he
it's
had
a
to-
dangerous
he had
move
to
if the
earn
person.
Vince's trust.
It's a dangerous move if the person don't know
if
how
the
to
person
do it.
doesn't tuck their head, then I mean, if the person tucks, I'm sorry, the opposite. If the person tucks their head, then they're fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah, they
You have to-
definitely. It's one of those
Wait,
moves that
yeah,
really has to help.
what you have to do with that move is you have to lean your head back towards his asshole, pretty much, so you don't break your neck.
Exactly. So if
Yeah.
you tuck your head, and the thing is that there's been people in the past, that they tuck their head. That's why Vince didn't let him use it.
Yo, Verge came in here. He's like, you gotta basically bend it up to his ass.
I was in training for about a month and a half, and then I got injured. So I know a bunch of wrestling moves. I don't know how to do them.
Anyway, like I would have preferred if they used his uppercut. Is like where he throws you up and uppercuts you as his finisher.
Yeah, that one is awesome too. Yeah, he was really awesome with the uppercuts. Period.
I like when he did like 40 of them swings, bro. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
I
It was
remember
good.
when
It was
he
just
did
really gimmicky, you know, really gimmicky.
I remember when he did that.
Yeah, it was the same shit as what's it called? Because you know what? You know the one thing that AEW is doing good. Now that you mentioned that move, is that WWE treated it kind of like a gimmicky thing, kind of like a thing that the crowd kind of like gets into.
Yeah.
Like a 1, 2, whatever.
Yeah.
AEW actually turned that shit into a submission, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so like when in the fight like against Jericho where he was spinning Jericho 11, 12, 13, blah 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 that bullshit, Jericho tapped out to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember that he tapped out.
Isn't that when he became ROH champion?
Just that little small detail, bro, it actually looked legit.
Yeah, because you
Like,
can't
I
get. How
remember
do you
when
get
he
out
did-
of that?
Yeah, exactly. Like it looks like you're fucking
Especially
getting
when you're
dizzy, bro. You don't
dizzy
know
as
where you're
hell.
at and all that shit, and people like tap out to it. But WWE never treated it that way.
No, they wanted it as like a fan
He- he
interaction moment.
For WWE they showed it off as like a feat of strength because usually when he did it to somebody who was like twice his size.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, like the way AEW uses it, if they use it like kind of like as a submission or whatever, it doesn't look as silly as it really is.
Yeah, because everybody.
I
Because
never
when
thought
he
it
was in WWE, he would
Oh.
also smile while doing it.
I never thought it looked silly. I always thought it looked cool and like.
Nah, it
You guys
did, but it
remember when
was
he,
gimmicky though.
Nah, to me it kind of looked like if I was fucking swinging my little nieces and nephews through their arms and shit, spinning them around and around.
Yeah, bro,
But the
it was
fact that he was
gimmicky,
doing
man.
it-
It was cheesy.
The fact that he was doing it
remember
for like
when he hit his
Ali.
teeth on the turnbuckle, and then
Oh,
Dean
yeah.
Ambrose made a shirt out of it.
I feel bad for him. Yeah, he broke all his teeth.
He got
hold
surgery to fix it though. So
He did. Yo,
He had to wear
leader,
braces for a while.
Leader, I see you're saying that you're gonna leave your mic off. I know you're in the chat, man. You want to say something? I know you said something earlier and left. I don't want you to feel shy. I know you're in here. I see you got your mic muted. You're the young one, right? You're the young one. I was like, who's the young one in here? And I think you had left.
Yeah, I'm shy too. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
yeah, you haven't really talked either, Jay. Yo, leader, where you at, man? Unmute your mic, bro. We're ready to hear you, bud. He
which
probably
one's
fell-
leader?
His
I think
Alex.
that's Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Is he the pig guy or Cody?
1K's been quiet too.
Oh yeah, KQ, yeah, KQ, quiet. He's in here lurking. All right, well, leader, if you ever feel like talking, man, go for it. We'll give you some time. You don't have to feel shy. I know that we're like bulldog. We're all here like in the Royal Rumble, right? Battle Royale style, elbowing each other. We're like, oh yeah, no, Cesaro uppercut.
Hey, I got a question. So, what was y'all's first ever WrestleMania you watched?
Man, I can't
My
remember,
first,
but
Like ever, like your first ever WrestleMania?
my first WrestleMania was 23.
which one is that one? Or like what year?
That's
Batista versus Undertaker,
Oh,
or
Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
mine was definitely in the
okay.
Attitude Era, but I don't
Mine
know
was-
which one.
Mine was WrestleMania 15. It was The Undertaker versus the Big Boss Man inside Hell in a Cell. And The Undertaker hung him with a noose.
Oh
God damn.
shit! Damn, yeah, I didn't see that one.
I saw that one.
I remember that.
and
I was 2.5 years old.
Straight up
I
says
was really
WrestleMania
mad.
14. Byron says WrestleMania
Yeah,
18.
bro, I remember a lot of shit from when I was a baby.
Wow.
I was really mad at 23 because that was like the first WrestleMania I seen.
Yo, leader,
it
hold
was-
on. Leader just commented. He said WrestleMania 33. Leader, unmute your mic, please. Unmute your mic. Why are you being so shy, bro? You got to break the ice. You can't come in here and not talk. Come on. We have space for all ages, everyone from the community to talk. Go for it. You don't have to feel intimidated.
Yeah, man, we don't bite.
He left. Come on, leader. Leader, man. All right, whatever. I don't want you to feel like you're picked on, but you could come in here and talk whenever you want, man.
Man.
It's
all
cool to
good.
have exactly. It's cool to have a diverse community and have everyone.
I wish we did this more often, bro.
I try sometimes, but it gets a little hectic, especially depending on what I want to do with the stream and how I want it to go. Especially like for like watch parties. That's why I do members only watch party, because I think for watch parties it'll be even crazier. But
Right.
I mean, on a slow night like tonight, he said the pressure is real. There's no pressure. I just on the contrary, I want you to feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You're always tuning in. You're always commenting. You tried talking earlier, and I think I was the one that actually bulldozed you. So I don't want you to feel like you can't talk just because we got a bunch of old farts in here, including myself. So don't worry,
I'm
man.
always 23, man. Oh,
There's a spot in the C Nation for you, bud. Where's
So what is that old
Trout
man?
sleeping? What's up? What's up?
You ain't that old, man.
Nah, 33 though. I mean, I'm old
You're
compared to him.
7 years older than me, bro. You ain't that old.
1 year older than me. Yeah.
All right. He
How
said,
old is he?
"This the first time, so I ain't used to this." All right, leader. No worries, man. No worries. Hey, whenever you feel comfortable, whenever you feel like it. WrestleMania
Hey,
25.
Hey, eventually you're gonna get to the point where your wet ones become dust ones.
So my thing when I think about like my first WrestleMania or just wrestling encounter, like, man, we talk about wrestling all the time on here, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, when you guys ask me, oh, your favorite match or your favorite wrestling game or your favorite, what was your favorite this from that run, or I can't really break down. Like, I'll have conversations with Brian off stream, and he'll be like, bro, you remember, like, I remember one time vividly, he goes to me, oh, you remember when Shane McMahon came out and he did this and that? And I'm like, dog, I don't remember shit. And he's like, yeah, Shane McMahon said this. You used to watch wrestling at the time. I'm like, all right, but I can't remember. And then he goes, bro, look it up. And when I looked at it, it gave me like, it kind of unlocked that memory in my head. But I can't, like, off the top of my head, you ask me right now, hey, Lex, you know, what was the first WrestleMania like you did right now? I know 100% it was the Attitude Era. I do remember seeing The Rock versus Stone Cold live because I had one of those little, my dad had those cable boxes that hacked the pay-per-views.
I wish I could have seen them wrestle one-on-one live, man.
Yeah, I saw them wrestle one-on-one, and I had one of my friends over. We bro, I was a kid, so, like, you know, we had to go to bed early, and I remember seeing one of the Royal Rumbles live as well. I never ordered them, so I always had to watch. Like, I used to get annoyed because they would on like Monday Night Raw the next night, they'll be like, oh, yesterday we had an exciting pay-per-view, and they'll always show like pictures and like still motions of what happened, but they'll cut it off.
Yeah, they still do that shit.
Yeah, I hate that shit because, you know, I don't feel the impact now because I watched the pay-per-view or the premium event, whatever. So I don't feel bad about it now. But when I was a kid watching that shit was like the ultimate like blue balls. I'm like, no, show me what happened. You know? So
I always hated that.
yeah, I remember that all the time. And then when I got back into wrestling in 2009, it was like 2008. So the thing is that I was still playing the video games, even though I wasn't watching the product. I played Raw 2. I played SmackDown versus Raw. One of my friends had it, so I would play it over there. And then I finally bought my own SmackDown versus Raw 2007. I bought '08, and I never stopped buying them since then. But I got back into watching religiously on TV in '08, '09, which was '09 the first time I ever went. And then I never stopped till like it was like 2015 or something like that, where I stopped watching on a weekly basis, but I always watched the pay-per-views. And you know, whatever, now there's Peacock, so I don't feel like a delinquent, but I never paid for any of the pay-per-views. Never. I ordered WrestleMania. Well, I can't say never, because I did order like one WrestleMania. I ordered one Royal Rumble, but in my entire life, I think I've ordered maybe 3 pay-per-views, but I've watched a lot of them because I've always gone to like those websites.
My mom ordered WrestleMania 15 all the way up until WrestleMania 30 or 29 because she would only order WrestleMania and wouldn't order any other pay-per-view. But she once the WWE Network was out, she was so happy because she got tired of paying for the pay-per-views.
Yeah,
because
bro.
I'd always begged her as a kid, and she ordered every WrestleMania since WrestleMania 15.
All the WrestleManias were like $10 to $20 above regular pay-per-view price. So they were like $70 or some shit like that.
It was $59.95.
I think back then WrestleMania back like 15 was at least like 40 to 50.
Yeah, well, come on. Yeah, times change. But I'm saying one of the last WrestleManias, like I actually paid like $65 for the Royal Rumble, I think. I forgot what year it was that I wanted to watch it. What up, official? What are we talking about? Just random pay-per-views that we watched, like, you know, when we first got into watching it. Royal Rumble's the only one you would order? Oh, shit. Yeah, so for me, it was just like, I never ordered it, man. Never. I watched them on, you know, it's not like I wasn't excited to watch it. I just never, like no one in my house ever cared to watch that shit, you know? So to ask my parents for $60 of a pay-per-view or $60 video game, I'd rather ask for a video game.
The only pay-per-views I've ever like seen live was the 2020 Money in the Bank, where they fought in the Titan Towers. That was kind of
like cool. In person or
yeah, like in person. Like I'm the only person in my family that likes wrestling. So like I never got to see it when I was younger. Like even Monday Night Raw, I had to like sneak watch it.
Yeah, I know. I did it. I did that too because I had curfew to go to sleep.
Yeah, my dad watched it. My stepdad watched it. My great grandma, who lived to be 100 years old, she watched it till the day she died.
I'd actually get in trouble because my dad hated wrestling. My stepdad, I should say. Like, he would ground me if he found out I watched wrestling.
Yeah, no.
Like
my whole thing, I got into wrestling thanks to, you know, people at school. It was like the talk of the town, you know, when I was in elementary. So,
yeah, like,
you're also in Florida, though. That's wrestling country. That's like, so.
Yeah, but now where I live in
Miami. Miami's not considered Florida.
Yeah, Miami's like on another planet.
To be honest, I never even, like, WWE wasn't even the first show I watched. I actually watched TNA before I watched WWE.
Really?
And,
wow.
I watched TNA for a while.
It was around the time that Awesome Kong was, like, tearing through everybody and like challenging.
Yeah, they tried making her like Brock
Was it
Lesnar.
when Kurt Angle was over there and stuff?
It was around. I know.
That's why I got into TNA, to watch Kurt Angle.
I remember Kevin Nash and like Hulk Hogan and like Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, no, that was. Yeah, that was later. That's when Hulk Hogan came in and said that the 6-sided ring was stupid and that they needed to go to the regular rings and shit.
That was around. I think that was around 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I remember watching a specific episode that Tito Ortiz showed up in, and I was like, "What?"
Rampage fucking showed up too.
Yeah,
That
Rampage showed up.
six-sided ring was TNA's like identity.
You saw that shit, that interview, Quentin Rampage? Damn. He was, damn, it's this wrestler guy that he was doing an interview with. That interviews wrestlers.
Uh-huh.
Chris Van Vliet.
He was interviewing Quentin, and he asked him why he never went into pro wrestling. Because you know that's originally what he wanted to do when he was little.
What, become like a pro wrestler?
Yeah, he wanted to be a pro wrestler. So he grew up in Tennessee, and he was a fan of Lawler's promotion.
Uh-huh.
And he said he would go every single weekend to watch all the wrestlers. Like he saw all of them. He used to go watch Sting, the Undertaker before he was the Undertaker. I forgot they said his name. The King of Pain, the King of Pain or something like that.
Rampage was one of my favorites. I always loved
And then and the guy was like, what made you not do it? And then he's like, nah. He's like, I don't really want to say because it's gonna make the guy look bad, but I understand. And the guy, he basically forced him to tell the story. Dude, basically what it was, he went to ask the Undertaker for an autograph, and he basically kind of like brushed him off, like everybody was coming up to him, and he kind of like skipped Rampage, and then he said Rampage said he saw him signing like all the white kids,
Oh, wow.
like autographs. So he said that kind of like turned him off to the fact of it, whatever. But then he said like years later, he thought about it, and he's like, you know what? At the end of the day, because I think he was 16 or 17. He said when he was like 16 or 17, he didn't look like he was 16 or 17. He looked like a grown ass man.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what he thinks is that the Undertaker was trying to get to all the little kids
Yeah, which is probably true.
and shit like that. Like he rationalized it in his head and shit. And he said years later, when the Undertaker showed up to one of his like UFC fights and shit, like he had told the Undertaker the story, and he said the Undertaker didn't remember, and that he felt so bad.
Wow.
Damn, Undertaker's a really good dude.
Yeah,
like,
Undertaker is.
And Rampage is like, oh, that's why I don't like to tell the story because because he's not that he's a racist. It's just the way I took it when I was a kid.
Yeah, he didn't know any better, and plus he felt some kind of way. He felt wronged.
Yeah, he felt wrong. So he was basically like, nah, if this is basically how the industry is, then I don't kind of want to do it.
And that just goes to show
that kind of like pushed him towards
MMA.
Towards MMA and shit.
Well, good for him because he ended up becoming a monster in MMA. I really liked him there too.
Yeah, but he was a big fan, bro. He knew all the wrestlers that we know today. He knew them by like their previous names.
Damn, that's crazy, man. It sucks that WWE never worked with him.
So then he talked about. So the reason I bring it up is because they talked about TNA. They're like, oh, because you had a little small stint in TNA, and then he said that TNA did him wrong because he was prepared to be a full blown pro wrestler for TNA, and then they sent him out a ring and everything to his house so he could start preparing and things like that.
Wow!
But they never sent nobody out there to actually teach him.
Oh,
how to wrestle. No trainers, no nothing. And on top of that, Dixie Carter never used them for not even one match.
Not to be like, like
they were just using him. They were just using him to come out and like cut segments.
Yeah, like an enforcer.
Yeah. So the thing is, he said he felt let down because it's like he felt like it was probably gonna be like another step into his career and shit. But then he realized that like they just wanted him for his name. They didn't want him to be a fucking wrestler. They didn't want him to wrestle.
And wasn't he in the main event Mafia too?
Yeah. He came out to the join main event Mafia and shit, all that shit. But I don't think he had like a real match.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, being honest, I don't even think like before if he was trying to be a wrestler before an MMA fighter. Honestly, I don't think he probably would have gotten as popular as he did. without.
Maybe because the interview guy was interviewing him, and basically his whole gimmick in MMA screams wrestling. That motherfucker comes out with that chain, with the locket, the little like bike chain thing around his neck.
Definitely.
He does the little howl, the wolf howl and shit on his entrances.
Yeah, he thought he was Mr.
And
T.
shit. Oh yeah,
He was a beast though. He was one of my favorites.
He built his whole image off of
Who you guys
basically
talking
wrestling.
about again? I zoned out.
If the Performance Center was around back then,
Yeah, the Performance Center would have
maybe.
gotten him.
Oh yeah, he would have been there, and he probably would have been in NXT and in main roster.
Who are you guys talking about? I zoned out.
Rampage.
Rampage Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yo, you know that I'm on their website. They have the TNA app. It's called Impact Plus. It's $72 for the year or $8 a month.
Yeah, you can watch a bunch of old stuff. I was thinking about doing it, but I just watch their pay-per-views on the website.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I don't watch them anymore at all. But
Yeah, I did for a little while.
They do
a couple
include
years ago when it was
their,
when Karrion Kross was in it, but like
yeah, I actually got to see him live in 2019 at Slammiversary. Pretty
I'm
dope.
telling, like that's when I first started following him was when he entered TNA, and he was a monster in TNA.
His rivalry against Eddie Edwards was one of my favorites.
yeah, that's
That
crazy.
and,
They
I know-
got freaking Heath Slater's there.
Yeah, him and Rhino.
Him and Rhino, yeah, as a team.
There's still
Like,
a
I
team
remember,
there.
Yeah, they're a team there. They they just recently lost the tag titles to Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, I can't believe
And-
they went back there.
But
And they're doing a pay-per-view. Well, not really like a pay-per-view, but just a streaming show on Friday.
They have
I
a
think-
show on
was it-
Fridays.
Their
Well, no,
shows
no.
are on. Yeah,
It's a pay-per-view, but not available on pay-per-view. It's available on their app.
You remember that dude that called himself he was in NXT, he was in the Ascension, the Ratitude guy.
Connor.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor, yeah.
Yeah, he's in TNA.
He's
His name is
there.
Khan.
Yeah, Big Con.
He's
I think-
with Violent by Design. It
Yeah.
used to be Eric Young's faction, but he left the company, and it's been rumored that he's coming back to WWE. We just don't know when.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm looking at the roster. This is the most depleted their roster has ever been, I think. They have
because all
TNA.
major guys left.
yeah.
But
TNA's
really, the
been
only
on the-
good
They got
thing
Matt-
about TNA
I mean, they
now,
got
I
Matt
think,
Cardona,
is Bully
but-
Ray.
They're doing nothing.
Like, is Moose even in TNA anymore?
Yeah, he's
Did he-
still there. He's still one of their
Moose
big
is still
guys.
there.
Yeah.
Tommy
I remember-
Dreamer's there. Moose
Yeah,
is there.
Tommy's still there.
Mhm.
Tommy's still there.
Matt Cardona,
Jack
Brian
Busted
Meyer.
Open is there.
Big Cass went to AEW.
Yeah, Big Cass is a big dumbass. That's what he is.
Enzo's with Major League Wrestling, MLW.
Yeah, I know he's been dying to come back to WWE, but I don't think they'll ever bring him back.
The only way they'd bring back Enzo is if they brought back Cass.
Yeah.
Cass ain't coming back.
What's his
They
deal?
worked
I've been
out-
dying to ask somebody. I'm sorry for cutting y'all off, but I see this guy here, and he has the Kurt Angle gimmick with the amateur ear cups. Josh Alexander.
Yeah, he's very good, bro. He's
He
very,
is good.
He
Yeah,
is-
he's a vet. He's one of the he's really
he's
good.
very good.
And from what I hear, he's a
He's an
TNA
old-timer,
lifer. He's turned down several WWE contracts.
Yeah, he has.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he won the Impact World title is when they really started noticing him, and he's kept re-signing with Impact ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a TNA lifer.
No. I
Yeah,
love the
they're-
match that Josh Alexander had with Bully Ray.
Oh my god, bro, that was nasty.
You know that they have them on Pluto TV.
Yeah.
I'd be watching it sometimes. Like I'll be flipping channels on TV just to see what's going on, and I've seen some of his matches on there. I've seen him like once or twice, and I'm like, bro, what's up with this guy?
He's good. He used to be
He's
part
one
of
of the best, bro. He's one of the best.
Wasn't he a part of a team called the North or something like that?
Yeah, with Ethan Page.
They didn't they feuded with the Wolves, I believe, with Eddie
Yeah.
Edwards tag team.
Around that time, it was mainly the Rascals, which is Zachary Wentz and Wes Lee. And then Trey Miguel was doing his singles run for the X Division. They feuded with I'm trying to remember who else.
Yo, I didn't know this. So you get to watch the pay-per-views on Impact Plus?
Yeah. It's like WWE Network, but for Impact.
Really?
Not all the pay-per-views though. The big pay-per-views, you still have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Like say for Bound for Glory, that's not going to be included.
Rich Swann is fighting for the title against Josh Alexander on Friday.
Yeah, Rich Swann's he's flourished in TNA. He's been like one of their major stars.
Yeah. I got to meet him. He was pretty cool.
Bro.
I met Tommy Dreamer at that same event. I met Rich Swann.
I remember Rich Swann at WWE. I never would have guessed it. Like he never screamed like big star.
Yeah, he never screamed world champion or Impact or IC champion.
But it's not that he never screamed that. He still wouldn't scream that even if he was in WWE. He's only done that because he's in TNA.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, let's be real.
It's kind of sad because like at one time I viewed TNA as at the level of WWE.
Yeah, which
But
was
now
like
I
what,
look
2009 maybe? That was the last time, I think.
Yeah. And now I look at the Impact World Championship as barely at the level as the Intercontinental title.
I mean,
let's be real though. Like the company that's gone down most downhill, in my opinion, is NWA.
No, but NWA they're pure indie though. They're like what's the other one? The one that Zack Ryder fights at, GCW or something?
Yeah.
He fights in NWA.
That and
Well, he
Ring of
fights at
Honor,
both.
bro.
But
Ever since Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor hasn't been doing a whole lot.
I mean,
well,
back in
they're
the
coming
day,
back.
NWA.
Yeah, they're
NWA was like one of the major
Ring of
wrestling
Honor's
companies.
coming back though.
Yeah, they're going to start airing their weekly show in March.
Yeah, they're coming back now in March.
Rumor is that their Tony Khan is trying to get an HBO Max deal for Ring of Honor.
That would be dope. I got HBO Max.
Peace out, Byron. Yeah, they've been trying to get AEW on HBO Max.
It's like the current NWA champion.
You should try to get both of them on there.
Iris, I think.
Yeah,
I say what would happen is like he wants what WWE has with Peacock with HBO Max.
Yeah, I know, but you know, if I'm Tony Khan, I'll build AEW for a couple more years before I do that because HBO could possibly rip him off right now, considering that they're probably not worth a whole lot.
Plus, WWE has like
I mean,
how many years of content?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the thing
since
is
they-
that the thing is that AEW's, I would say that AEW's peak in terms of like they're still growing, but I'm talking about in terms of hype, in terms of like that surge was before the pandemic hit, and then they found another surge when they signed CM Punk.
Yeah. Then it went downhill after the whole media scrum issue.
But between the media scrum, the pandemic for that, you know, the fact that they survived the pandemic is remarkable. And what allowed them to survive was that deal they had with TNT. TNT, that deal came in clutch. It freaking carried them. So
what did they do? Look, I don't watch AEW. I haven't last time I watched AEW was like when they first started. Like, what did they do during the pandemic? Like, did they do like a Thunderdome type thing or?
No, okay, so they
Daly's Place.
The Daly's Place, but they had their wrestlers in the crowd, and when Matt Hardy debuted, he debuted in like the seats and the back and stuff.
The rafters, yeah.
Yeah, the rafters.
Yeah, so the thing is that they used a lot of the resources that they had with you know, the connections that they had with the Jaguars and shit, like those facilities. They even had like a show at the football stadium.
Yeah, the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, so like they didn't have like the enclosed Thunderdome, the daily place or whatever. It was kind of open, but it is a small venue, and it's kind of like it's like the TNA Impact Universal stage or whatever that they had. So they just kept filming there out of Jacksonville.
You know, I'm not even gonna lie.
The game's gonna come out.
The game's gonna come out. Yeah, I think it'll come out around summertime.
I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of missed the Thunderdome. I thought it was kind of cool. I remember I was actually in the Thunderdome once.
For real?
Bro, I've seen so many messed up videos in that Thunderdome stuff, bro. I saw somebody as he had a KKK mask on. I seen somebody.
I saw that.
Someone had a banana head. Another was stroking his stuff on camera.
I think the Thunderdome,
Jesus,
the Thunderdome was definitely peak pandemic for WWE, because I remember when the pandemic first hit and I tried watching it. It was really, really hard to watch it. It took them a while to start pumping in the crowd noise and pumping in, you know, like any ideas to make it sound alive, because they were going out there like super bare bones. And that shit was really bad. Wrestling was definitely bleeding from all angles.
And they had the wrestlers living, if I remember correctly, some of the wrestlers were living in the VIP
center?
boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I heard about that too.
Oh, I didn't know that shit.
No, I didn't know that either.
Because they were basically quarantined the entire stadium when they moved to the stadium. Like pretty much everything they needed was in the stadium, so they never left it.
And I know that they recorded a lot of episodes back to back and shit, so they didn't have to be there.
Remember that time? Because you know how like usually when they cut to commercial, like they keep wrestling for the crowd and type shit.
Yeah.
But since there was no crowd, when they would cut to the commercials, they would stop fighting mid fight. And remember that time where they cut to commercial, but they USA fucked up and they did the picture in picture.
I need to see this. Let me look that
And then they had Alexa Bliss and I think Sasha Banks that they were fighting. They cut to commercial and they just see them standing talking.
Oh my god, I gotta see this.
I saw that, bro. I saw that.
And I remember when I saw that, I was thinking like, all the times that Vince McMahon got onto people for letting others peek behind the curtain, and I'm like, you just showed the world. You did it, Vince. You just showed the world.
Motherfuckers having a coffee break and shit in the middle of a table match.
It was Alexa Bliss.
I think it was Alexa Bliss. I know Alexa Bliss. I don't know if it was Sasha Banks. I forgot who. But I know it was Alexa Bliss.
Let me see. WWE Alexa.
It was a tag team match.
I'm honestly glad Triple H took over, because the product Vince was producing towards the end of his reign was pretty shit. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, I see them. It was during SmackDown.
WrestleMania 38 was good because I was there and it was fun. But
Sorry. Go ahead.
WrestleMania 38 was good, but the product after that just started sucking until Triple H took over.
Yeah, it was Bailey. I'm looking at it. It was Bailey, Sasha Banks, Alexa. The referee has his hand on his hip, the leg behind. I put the link in the. Let me put the link here for you guys.
Do you guys know when the game's gonna come out?
And they're about to come back to commercial. And they're like, oh shit.
You talking about AEW or WWE?
WWE.
March 14th for the Deluxe and Icon, and March 17th for the Standard.
You know what's crazy? I've been playing WWE since I was little.
Damn.
I've been playing.
It's crazy how like they keep on adding new things to the games and stuff.
Yeah, it comes out every year.
Yeah.
I've been playing WWE.
I put the link
games
in the chat box for you guys to see that shit. That
Yeah,
shit
like-
is
like-
funny, bro. That shit's terrible.
Like, ever since Triple H got
That's
involved,
hilarious how they screwed that up.
like
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a single WWE show since Triple H took over. It's kind of like that's been bad.
Well, that's been unwatchable, I'll say.
Yeah, like
so,
there've been shows that weren't that good, but
I will say this: the
least more watchable
pay per views have been like 90% more thrilling.
Oh yeah, bro.
Even the
Royal
weekly shows.
Rumble, I was for the Royal Rumble. I was jumping up and down. It was awesome.
But
And then
the thing is, Vince focused too much on like just a few people, and he focused on just a few pay-per-views to make it like elevated and shit. I feel like Triple H, like he tries to like he makes it like it's a broader like
It feels
stroke.
like a sports league.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna go on here on a Vince parade praise tour, but I'm one of the ones that like I didn't bash like everything he did. Like there's people that like live to bash every single move he made. I didn't have issues with a lot of the things. A lot of the things that he did that were messed up were annoying, no doubt about it. And there's creative decisions that he made that I wouldn't agree with. Same for Triple H. But if there's a big difference between Vince and Triple H, even when they're down bad on something that I don't agree with, I feel like Triple H finds a way to make it more tolerable.
And the reason I think that is because Triple H, he was in that position. Triple H or Vince McMahon has never really been in that.
He was a
position.
performer.
Yeah, it's kind of like how
I was hoping they really pushed Sammy, bro, and Sammy got that title, but
it's kind of like how football coaches usually, if the football coach used to be
coach.
a player,
it
was the players gelled better than with.
Well, I'm still bothered that we haven't seen a real Shinsuke run. He hasn't been anywhere
since 2018.
Yeah, so like I thought Triple H taking over would mean that we'd get more Shinsuke. I want to see what they. I don't know.
It's sad. It's sad because when he showed up in Japan to face,
that was in January last month.
Yeah, to face Muda,
Yeah,
the Great
Muda.
Muda, they made him look like a megastar, and WWE can't even do that.
Well, he hasn't even been on TV.
I mean, to be fair, that's also in Japan. Kind of like how Lex said Sheamus was in the UK.
Yeah, nah. Shinsuke in Japan was a top, main eventer over there.
So it was kind of like the same deal. It's during
It's a
their home
shame
country.
how he's not that over here.
Look, the thing is that he has gotten the main event pop. It's not that he hasn't had that chance. And in NXT, he was a big timer. The problem is that they nerfed his run. When
I'm not even gonna lie,
we can't complain about we can't complain about Shinsuke. He's the best treated Japanese male superstar they've ever had. They had him as Intercontinental Champion for I don't know how long, even though it was irrelevant. He won the Royal Rumble in 2018. Like they've never done that for Japanese superstars ever, I think.
Yeah, like
remember Kai and Tai?
Who?
You guys remember?
I've never been a huge fan of Shinsuke.
What about Yokozuna?
He's not Japanese.
Bro, he was trying to be funny, bro. Nah, the only Japanese superstars that I know besides Yoshitatsu was freaking Kung Fu Naki.
Mine was
baby.
I think my favorite was Jimmy Wang Yang.
Wasn't Tajiri?
Cowboy. This just said Jimmy Wang Yang.
He was the ghost.
Bro. Jimmy Wang Yang was dope, bro.
Bro, he was with Nydia. He was a freaking joke.
Wasn't Tajiri Chinese?
Well, Tajiri was cool. Yeah, Tajiri's probably the more acceptable one. But come on, bro. Shinsuke has already had a more successful career than all those guys.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I couldn't remember.
It didn't take much, though. It didn't take much. I'll say that. It didn't take much. Look at Jalen. Jalen says, I'd be a top main eventer in Japan, too. Yeah, right, bro. They'll break your chest over there. I think pro wrestling is probably harder over there than it is here.
Yeah,
Hey, bro,
Yeah,
New
because
Japan, New Japan's
Japan
fire,
is
bro.
more shoot wrestling than anything.
Yeah, bro.
Shit.
They love throwing potatoes in Japan.
And you know what's tough about wrestling in Japan though? The crowd doesn't even give you a reaction besides clapping a little bit.
Because they do a little clap and that's it.
Yeah, they do like a little clap, like if they're at a freaking opera or some shit.
They
So
Japanese crowd.
they actually
I don't think I can perform in Japanese crowd.
the Japanese fans aren't actually allowed to cheer at the moment with.
yeah,
I
man.
don't know,
If I was a wrestler over there, I don't know how Kenny Omega did it so long and he became such a megastar because, or any of those guys, honestly, because wrestling over there would be so confusing. I'll be like, damn, did I do something good? I mean,
they cheered more around 2016 and all that, but once COVID hit, the wrestlers or the owner of New Japan told them that they weren't allowed to cheer no more.
Wow, that's incredible.
That
What the heck is the owner of New Japan gonna do? He doesn't have no power over the crowd.
Well, nah, because
shut it all down.
Nah, remember, man.
So you gotta remember, they're still an empire. They don't have the mindset like we do.
Yeah, no. The freedom, not just because of the freedom of speech or anything like that. The culture over there is just completely different.
Yeah.
They're more respectful, I would say, especially for something like that. Like like New Japan is considered like sacred grounds and shit over there.
And I heard that they don't even stand up; they just stay sitting.
Yeah,
like what is this?
Yeah, they
is
don't
the owner
stand up.
The way I see it is like, what's the owner gonna do? Stop making shows?
Nah, you'll probably get kicked out of the venue.
He did stop allowing. I think there was one Wrestle Kingdom that they had, and there was no fans there.
I'm not gonna lie. The only New Japan match that I've seen from bell to bell is Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, and I thought that show was amazing when Chris Jericho first left WWE.
Was that Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah, that show was ridiculous.
I've seen every Wrestle.
2k23.
I've seen every Wrestle Kingdom since I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 12, the year before Kenny Omega and Jericho.
Gosh,
this dude Jalen said Lord Tensai, bro. This guy is really trolling right now.
Oh wow.
Actually, he was a big star over there for a while though before he came back to WWE.
Who?
He was.
Oh, Lord Tensai? Yeah, he was. A-Train.
He was a Giant Bernard or something like that.
Oh man,
Prince Albert
versus Omega. Yeah, I'm replying to that guy.
He was like world champion and he fought Brock Lesnar.
Now you know who was big in Japan? Vader.
Yeah, he was. He was. I feel like
he was the original TNA with Test.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, TNA was their tag team name.
TNA. Yeah. I thought you meant that they were in TNA in the original stage. Like I was like, wait, they were?
No.
Yeah, I get you. They were TNA. Yeah, they were. I remember him most from that. I used to like him when he came back as Lord Tensai. He was pretty fire, bro. But they didn't really do much with him, honestly. The crowd didn't get behind him.
Yeah, because like, and not only that, cause he also got like buried by John Cena like a month or so after he came back, and like
because the crowd was numb when he came out, dog. They didn't know who he was, and they didn't care. I remember watching him vividly because I loved his theme song. I liked his gear. He had changed and reworked his in-ring style. They tried making him like a New Japan superstar over here.
And freaking
it didn't
Matt
work.
Bloom, he felt betrayed because I remember for a while he was bitter.
Yeah, because he thought he was probably gonna go on a run because he was a star over there.
He says he regrets coming back to WWE. He doesn't now, but he regretted coming back to WWE.
Yeah, he doesn't regret it now because he became a lifer and he's a coach, and they used him in the performance center and shit.
Yeah, he's so much better than what, according to everybody who's like worked with him, he's so much better than who was that guy? Bill DeMott.
Yeah, Bill DeMott.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's another
Bill
situation.
Wrestles for GCW now.
He wrestles for GCW?
Oh, go figure.
Yeah, I've seen him at a show a couple months ago.
I think that A-Train, Matt Bloom or whatever, he's more player coach friendly. You know what I mean? Like he's really relatable. Like I've seen him talk to on the Tough Enough and like the videos that they put for the Performance Center. Like the way that he talks to the people, it feels much more
like a big brother.
Yeah, big brother, direct.
Yeah.
Versus,
I'm just surprised he's like the last video game he was in was 2K18, I think.
Yeah, it was 18.
You remember how this dude Bill DeMont, he talks down to everybody. He treated everybody like shit.
Yep.
Remember how they made him sound
especially
like
women.
an ass in the WWE games? I think it
Yeah.
was 2K15. They made him sound like an asshole.
Yeah, no, he is an asshole.
He abused people. He didn't just talk down on them.
Yeah, he verbally abused. Yeah, he was a bully, exactly.
Not only verbally, he
doesn't
physically
respect
abused them,
women.
turned to a couple people.
For real? Yeah, I'll never forget when I was a kid. I was so impacted by Hardcore Holly when he came out on Tough Enough, and this dude was saying that wrestling was fake, and he put him in the turnbuckle and stomped a mud hole into his mouth and made him bleed and everything.
Oh, I remember that.
He goes, "Oh, you think it's
Didn't
fake?
he,
All right,
like-
get in here in the ring with me real quick." And he freaking
Didn't he
like
slap
demolished him.
the hell out of him?
Yeah, he demolished the guy. I don't even know who it was or anything like that, but that show was really embarrassing.
I think my favorite part with Hardcore Holly was the 2004 Tough Enough when The Miz and Daniel Pewter had to dress up like women, and
Damn, I don't
he
remember that shit.
Hardcore Holly was like, "Nah, man, that stuff's gay."
I didn't like Hardcore Holly.
And he started beating the crap out of The Miz afterwards. Funny.
Hardcore Holly is just like he's like in the same league with JBL as me. As a person, they just seem like
assholes.
Bland, yeah.
Not just bland, but
I think JBL was really good when he did the whole Wall Street, villain asshole or whatever.
Yeah, no, but they're talking more about like personally that they're just dicks.
Bro.
Oh yeah, nah, JBL he does look like a dick straight up, 100%.
He was kind of racist.
Same with Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly hated the new people. Like anybody who was coming up in WWE, he hated, and he would always rib them and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he didn't want to lose his job.
Hardcore Holly hated DX. Like, I guess I can't remember who. I think it was Billy Gunn. It was him and Billy Gunn that would get in fights all the time because he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And then like Billy Gunn would smart off to him, and he'd slap Billy Gunn, and then the next thing you know, you got a bar fight in catering.
Oh, that's crazy. No, for me, I remember growing up, like even to this day, like I still love Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. They're my favorite from DX.
Oh,
honestly.
you didn't know?
I was like,
shit. Oh, speaking of the moment that we just talked about with the SmackDown of Alexa Bliss and shit like that, there was a time where they were doing the in the Attitude Era. Remember they used to do film Sunday Night Heat before the pay-per-view?
Yeah, right before the pay-per-view, like a teaser.
Yeah, so they had a moment where I think Michael Cole was backstage and Sunday Night Heat doing the little, not an interview, but doing the whole announcement thing, the little commentator thing, like getting prepared for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then I think The Rock was supposed to face Billy Gunn in that pay-per-view that same night to conclude like their rivalry or whatever. And then in the background, you see The Rock and Billy Gunn in catering. And you see The Rock look back, and then he runs off camera.
Oh shit! I gotta look that up. Hold on, let me look it up.
That's
also
hilarious.
like talking about Hardcore Holly. Like I remember
The
when
Rock,
he tried to
Billy Gunn. Let me see. And you said what? Attitude Era?
Yeah,
well, it was Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, Sunday Night Heat.
They had
I remember
to be
watching that when
the
I
night
was
of SummerSlam '99.
he tried to rib Brock Lesnar, and he sandbagged Brock Lesnar when he tried to do a powerbomb, and like Brock Lesnar dropped him right on his neck and he broke it.
Hold on, I can't find the. Oh wait, who got dropped in the neck?
Hardcore Holly.
Oh, hold on, I gotta find that segment.
Brock powerbombed him and broke his neck.
Man, you guys remember when JBL would be racist towards Rey Mysterio and everybody in EW?
I remember when JBL was racist to Ryoshi Tatsu. He was like,
that's probably why everyone thinks he's actually racist now. And it's like, man, I've met JBL. He's not racist.
Yeah, he's not racist to you in for 5 minutes, but he looks like an asshole.
Yeah, he's been racist. He's been caught on camera being racist and stuff. Not just with WWE.
You know what's the one thing that I hate about JBL? That because of him, Mauro Ranallo is not in WWE anymore.
Yeah, because he like constantly like picked
bullied
on him.
him.
And stuff.
Yeah,
bullied him and everything. Like that's
Ronaldo's now doing boxing and sports stuff.
Yeah, no, which he always did that though. He still did that when he was in WWE. He did Showtime, but
I didn't know that. So like,
yeah, I didn't know that till after. But he's great, bro. He's a phenomenal announcer.
It was EA Sports MMA, not like their UFC. It was like the game. MMA.
Yeah, MMA. Yeah.
And I remember hearing Mauro Ranallo's voice on there. I was like, what? Because he was like one of the announcers for that game. I did not know.
Yeah, they have the Showtime announce team in that game.
Yeah,
because they have Strike Force in it.
I love his commentary. His commentary to me was probably one of the best like outsiders that came into the business. I think he's amazing.
He was my favorite since like Jim Ross.
Mauro left for his disorder. Nah, he might have left for his disorder or whatnot after, bro. They let him go because of the beef he had with JBL on commentary. Then they brought him back and put him on NXT, and then he left again. They brought him back for NXT. He was in NXT for a while.
Yeah, I think it's personal reasons why he left, though.
He reminded me of take this with a grain of salt, bro. I'm not saying he is that guy, but he reminded me of like a JR. You know, with the Mamma Mia. Oh, my God. Look at that. He's hitting him with the blah, blah, blah.
He was amazing. He was an amazing announcer. I love Mauro Ranallo. Even though I could never freaking pronounce his name right because of my lisp and stuff.
Nah, but he was definitely really, really cool. Undervalued. I feel like WWE should have tried, keeping him around.
Like, I wonder how commentary between him, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee would be.
Oh, my God. That would have been crazy.
Right there.
You know what's funny? Just as I was finally getting accustomed and enjoying Byron Saxton's commentary, they end up taking him off and bringing in Kevin Patrick.
Kevin Patrick is so bad. But I didn't like Byron Saxton either, so like
I didn't like him either, but he played really well with Corey Graves. For me, I'm really big on how people play off of each other. I like JBL, Booker T, and those guys because they were able to be their characters and talk shit to Michael Cole. You get me?
Booker T is NXT is pretty good.
If I could switch around the commentary team a little bit, I would. Like, I would make Corey Graves, Booker T, and Wade Barrett a commentary team.
I would do that too. Jimmy Smith was good. Jimmy Smith was another one that I was getting used to.
Wade Barrett's the heel on SmackDown for Michael Cole. Corey Graves is the heel for whoever on Raw. And
I just feel like we're missing a character on Raw.
To me, it doesn't to me, in my opinion, the commentary team doesn't need to be a face or a heel.
They just need to work well together.
Yeah,
and I don't think Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick, not that they agree too much or they don't disagree or whatever, it's just that I think Kevin Patrick was a better mediator for like Straight Edge said, pre-show, post-shows, interviews, whatever. I think he was a better mediator for that. I don't think that at the end of the day, he works well with Corey Graves. I think Corey Graves needs a Byron Saxton, who I think Corey Graves and Byron Saxton have really good chemistry. Like they're arguing on the mic is really, really good. So,
I also think just because like Corey Graves, Wade Barrett, and Booker T, since they were all like, I just feel like their dynamic would be cool because they all used to be competitors. So like,
yeah,
yeah. No.
What do y'all think that Corey? Corey said that the only way he'd come back is if he got to team with Carmelo. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen.
Corey Graves, he was good, but like
we can't afford to lose him in the commentary team.
Yeah.
He's not going to be
as
big as a star.
In the commentary team did a comeback, I would want.
He's good in commentary.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Wade could have another good run.
Oh yeah, man. I hope he makes a return. I was hoping
He
he was in
won't.
the
He said
Rumble.
he's done, but
Dre says, what do you guys
Okay,
think
well-
of Samantha Irving versus Mike Rome? Who do y'all think is better?
Samantha.
Damn, you don't like Mike Rome? I like both of them. I think they're both solid.
He's good, but Samantha's definitely better than Greg Hamilton.
Oh, well, Greg Hamilton. I don't have a problem with none of them, honestly. Even the other guy that they had let go, remember the older one? Was it Tony?
Yeah. Tony, yeah.
I liked him. I like
I wish they'd bring back JoJo, man.
Oh,
You know-
JoJo. I like
You
Justin
know-
Roberts.
I'm glad they brought Kathy Kelly back because she was always one of my favorites. But I also miss Tom Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Phillips was good.
He's Impact now, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is. He's Impact with
Conan,
no,
I believe.
no.
I remember one of the
he's with-
stupid rules they put out was
He's
that
with he's with
Sorry.
Aiden English.
Yeah,
he-
an Impact.
Oh, that's right.
No,
One of
that's
the
that's
stupid-
Josh Matthews.
Josh Matthews, I think he's retired now. It's Tom Phillips and Aiden English.
And-
I don't know what his Impact name is. Matthew something.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I remember
they're
one
doing
of-
commentary together.
one of the stupid rules Vince McMahon put out for Tom Phillips is that in every interview he did, he had to like spread his legs out so he didn't look so tall compared to the wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like 6'5" or something like that, and like he would make wrestlers look small if he stood up all the way. So he had to like
Wow, that's the
spread his
dumbest
legs out.
shit ever.
Yeah.
I mean that could have been a really cool storyline because, like, you know how wrestlers like to bully the interviewers, and it's like, oh, you gonna bully this guy? He's
Why would you
bigger
make?
than you.
Yeah, nah. Why would you have him open his legs when you could just have a platform for them to stand on? You can't even see that on camera.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
so like
I don't know if he
stupid.
was 6'5", but I know he was tall for an interview.
That's crazy, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. Justin Roberts is an AW. Yeah, Justin Roberts is an AW. He's good there. Lillian Garcia was awesome. I liked Lillian Garcia.
Lillian Garcia is the GOAT. She's like
I miss her.
she's like in
Yeah.
the top 3 announcers for me.
You know, there's
Remember that
actually fucking
storyline?
video of that shit too, where the camera pans out and he's crouching.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I think he was interviewing Theory.
Fun fact: Austin Theory used to wrestle for my coach here in Texas.
Really?
Yep, he did VIP wrestling and DFW All Pro Wrestling.
Oh, so he's a liar. He's not really 8 down then.
No, he's from Georgia, Atlanta, but he's wrestled here in Texas multiple times.
My favorite announcers would either be Lillian Garcia or Tony Chemmel.
Tony Chemmel. That was his name. I forgot his name for a second.
Yeah. I remember that when Edge first came back, they brought Tony Chemmel back for one night to do Edge's entrance. That was pretty
The
cool.
Rated R Superstar.
What was it? The Greg guy? I remember when he kept trying to, like, in the games. I think it was an Easter
Greg
egg that he
Hamilton.
tried to do it.
Yeah.
He tried to do it like Greg Hamilton. He tried to do it like Tony Chemmel used to.
Samantha Irving does it perfectly well, man.
Yeah,
JoJo's
she
good. I like
puts that
JoJo.
deep voice.
Isn't she Ricochet's girlfriend or something?
Yeah, they're engaged.
Beyonce, yeah. They just got engaged.
No, y'all forgot Howard Finkel. Well, we're talking about the more modern ones because there's been a bunch, but Howard Finkel, I mean, he's a
23
legend.
years old. I'm 23 years
I would
old.
say-
I've never like heard of Howard Finkel.
Wait, you never heard Howard Finkel?
I've heard him, but like
I remember Howard Finkel, and I'm 26.
Damn,
that's
yeah.
3 years old.
When I tuned into wrestling, Howard Finkel was the guy.
I only started watching
Everyone-
WWE back in 2009.
Oh yeah,
Anyone
Howard
that's
Finkel.
younger than 30 should really watch Legends House.
Oh, I've
Like,
watched
yeah.
that show. It was funny, and it was funny seeing Pat Patterson and I think it was Roddy. They'd always hang out.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
Pat
man. Rest in
Patterson-
peace, Howard Finkel, Roddy Piper, freaking Pat Patterson. All of them
Like,
are gone.
I think everyone in that show except for Jimmy Hart is gone now. I think,
Yeah.
or Hillbilly Jim and Jimmy Hart, I think are the
Jim,
only two that are
Jim
left.
Duggan's still alive too.
Hacksaw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He just had some kind of heart surgery though.
I remember saying like my favorite commentary team has always been Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, and people were like, "What about Gorilla Monsoon?" I'm like, I wasn't alive.
Yo, Will is saying Cody versus Roman is giving me Roman versus Brock WrestleMania 31 vibes when Roman stole Bryan's spot and became hated for it. How?
I
'Cause
don't
of the
think
Cody
people are
and
gonna
Sammy?
hate Cody like they.
I hope
said.
Cody wins, bro.
Nah,
Cody
people still want Cody to win.
Yeah, Cody's maybe not as over as Sammy, but he's still over as heck.
No, the only
If
reason it felt
Cody
like that is
don't
because
win,
of
bro,
where
I'm
they.
gonna
if-
be a
because
little
of-
pissed.
The only reason it felt like that because of where they've been, though, bro. They were in Canada. You gotta let
Cody-
You gotta
yeah.
let it cool down a little bit.
Cody needs to be the one to dethrone Roman. Him or Seth Rollins.
Have you
That
guys
title reign needs to end,
He's
bro.
been over
I'm-
way
Listen-
before they were in Canada.
listen to yeah, I know, but listen to Cody Rhodes when he comes out and you hear the crowd singing his theme song. Or
Yeah.
even when they just say the whoa, like when the fireworks are about to go off.
Adrenaline
Yeah.
in my soul.
Everybody
I don't
goes
know. I
nuts.
guess we'll have to see
Cody
if it
Rhodes.
still happens with Sammy when they're out of Canada.
Sammy is undoubtedly over. Sammy is undoubtedly a fan favorite. It's the Daniel Bryan story all over again, but it's 1,000% because of his involvement with the bloodline. Because when Sami Zayn was feuding with Jackass and all those guys, his pop or boos weren't that hard how they've been now.
I don't think anybody will ever be as over as Daniel Bryan was.
Oh, yeah, bro. Especially 2014 when he had that yes movement.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, the
yes,
Daniel
yes.
Bryan. The only thing close to that Daniel Bryan stuff is Roman Reigns' hate, like the boos for Roman when he beat Undertaker
yeah.
and came out on Raw.
Speaking
Oh,
of
and
hate,
Batista.
Oh
The
my
hate
God.
Batista got
Yeah,
back
when he
then.
beat the Undertaker.
Yeah.
you guys remember that Raw? I think it was Raw where Elias and Kevin Owens just like got booed for like, what was it, like 5 minutes straight because they made fun of their like basketball team. I think it was. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but like
they
got
do the
booed.
cheap heel shit.
Yeah, they got booed for like
this
5
one.
or 10
This
minutes.
one was like nuclear heat.
Yeah,
'Cause I
Roman
think they had
got
just lost the game.
really bad heat when he beat the Undertaker.
I get how
Roman had
Cody is
that
gonna
heat
be the
on the
next
Royal
face of
Rumble.
the company, but I mean he can win anytime. But Sammy storyline is once in a lifetime. Well, it's once in a lifetime because of the bloodline, though. That's Sammy being the underdog is just another typical underdog story. What makes Sammy's story so special is the bloodline. It's the rub that he's gotten off of the Roman Empire, Island of Relevancy stuff. That's all what has made this jump into the stratosphere. That's what people are now realizing. Roman's bloodline crew is on another level just as a faction, to the point where Sammy is now as a character on another level. Sammy has been cheered. He's been fan favorite before. He's been one of the guys that people always loved. I get all that. I'm not saying that he's never been over in his career, because that'd be a disservice to the amount of work that he's put on beyond the 9 months that he's been with the bloodline. But in terms of like this astronomical like pop and roar and movement, it's literally strictly because of his ties to the bloodline. So as long as he's feuding with the bloodline, against the bloodline and for, the whole Roman universe stuff, he's going to be over for a long time. And that's going to be the same case with Cody. Like the bloodline is so heated, right? Like there's so much hate for them right now that people are dying for them to lose the belts. So guys like Cody and shit are going to get cheered.
What I think's gonna happen is if they don't go the route with Sammy and Kevin winning the tag titles from the Usos, and Cody wins from Roman, then it could be Sammy and Cody at WrestleMania Backlash for the title.
Well, Cody did say he wants to face Sammy, so
Yeah, they need to be very, very careful with that shit, because I just don't want them to do another Daniel Bryan typical story.
Well, I think what's going to happen at WrestleMania that's the pay-per-view right after.
I hate that they call it WrestleMania Backlash. I like just Backlash.
Well, anyways, if it's the pay-per-view right after WrestleMania, then it's probably going to be Roman versus Cody again because he's going to use his rematch clause. But
and it's rumored
it doesn't exist anymore. They swear up and down, oh, there's no rematch clause anymore. Then stop doing rematches.
Well, it's definitely got to be a rematch. It's not going to be a one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think. The more I think about Roman getting to 1,000 days, the more I don't think that Cody's gonna win.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I honestly think that it's only going to happen after 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to end it.
Cody's gonna lose, and then he's gonna come out, bring a heartfelt promo about how he let his dad down, how he let everybody down.
Cody's gonna be more over by losing to Roman than actually beating Roman.
Because Roman, if he gets to 1,000 days, that's cemented. There will be maybe another 30, 40 years before somebody ever comes close to beating him.
It's such a weird number. If they stop him at 940.
I think it's like 960.
Yeah, it is a weird number.
Think about this though. On the flip side, just playing devil's advocate here. If they stop the 1,000-day reign, it makes Cody look even bigger because then essentially with
that's
Roman
what I mean.
being,
But the only way you do that is by him losing at Mania.
I mean, that's if they do 1,000 days, that's if there could be another big star that returns, I don't know, John Moxley or fucking CM Punk. I don't know. It might not even be Cody because that's 100. Was that 100 more days from now?
Yeah,
I think he's at like 910 right now.
Like, best case scenario for me, man, is if at WrestleMania is they do the whole typical end of the match, referees knocked out, Usos come out, Solo comes out, and then Cody fucking knocks out Solo, he knocks out the Usos. It's just one-on-one him and Roman, and The Rock comes out and fucking rock bottoms Cody, and we get a return of Hollywood Rock.
So what pay-per-view would be 100 days from?
I think
most
SummerSlam.
likely, it would be Money in the Bank.
That's one of the big four, isn't it?
Five. Because
it would make sense.
It's WrestleMania Backlash.
You want me to tell you something, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you. He could just literally drop the WWE title and still be champion for beyond 1,000 days.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is the Universal Champion we're talking about.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be
the WWE champion.
They keep saying they want to split the titles, but they still haven't done it.
They were supposed to do it before WrestleMania.
Well, this could be like if he wins at WrestleMania, they could easily just make up. Well, there was something in the contract that you didn't read. This wasn't for both championships; it was for one.
Yeah, he's at 905, bro. WrestleMania is like 40 days away. That shit would be so whack if he loses.
What I think they're gonna do is they're gonna have Cody win it and then drop the Universal title the next night.
I don't know, but I do know one thing. I'm calling it right now. Randy Orton is returning either Raw after Mania or SmackDown after Mania.
Or it could be at Mania.
I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, what can he do at Mania?
Yo, you know that I was thinking about today?
He could always come out and help Cody.
Yeah, true.
I'm really annoyed that Matt Riddle still hasn't came back.
He's in what's it called?
He's in rehab. They're forcing him to do rehab because of his drug addiction.
And there's rumors he's not going to come back at all, that he's going to do the rehab and then tell him fuck off.
He's dating a porn star right now.
Nah, bro. Nobody does a rehab just to say fuck off to your freaking employer. That's
And
stupid.
he's in the WWE game.
They do if your contract demands it. They do if your contract demands it.
I do know if he does come back, I hope he comes back a little more serious because the stoner gimmick is kind of getting old to me.
I mean, he was red hot, but
I need MMA.
I mean, I know it's not a gimmick, but I mean, come on,
bro. But he was red hot though, man.
Like,
he was a Sami Zayn before Sami Zayn right now with Randy Orton.
I know
and all
it's not a gimmick; that's just him. But like at the same time, it's definitely it's exaggerated a bit because I have plenty of stoner friends and none of them act like he does.
Yeah, but come on, bro. But be honest, that guy, it's like Cesaro. His matches in the ring are ridiculous.
I just find him really annoying on the mic a lot of the times.
Whatever.
Especially how he talks.
He is a little goofy, man, but he backs that shit up in the ring nasty as hell.
Like when he got serious with Seth Rollins, that's when I yeah. But like when he's like Randy or something like,
hey Randy,
it makes me cringe.
Hey Randy, this one time I was at my house. Yeah.
He just he makes stoners look bad.
He's like,
one time at
all right, bro, I'm about to fuck you up.
I think that
but yeah, that rivalry with him and Seth was amazing.
Yeah, I think he's really, really good, man. I think he should win Money in the Bank.
I just want him to be a little bit more serious. Like he's an MMA like he doesn't need to be like all serious like Brock Lesnar or something. Well, even Brock Lesnar. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if y'all heard.
What if Cody just loses everything and he wins the Money in the Bank?
I mean, that'd be another title for him. And that
isn't UK this year.
Oh,
so doesn't mean that somebody in UK has to win.
Here's to be something really cool. What if in 1 year time span he wins the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and King of the Ring, and then catches in on Roman?
I mean, King of the Ring's not really that prestigious.
What else do you need him to? Like, you're trying to build him up as Thanos or something?
King of the Ring prestigious.
That was back in the day, but nowadays it's kind of a joke. Who was the last serious King of the Ring?
Xavier Woods.
Well,
no,
he wasn't really that serious.
Last serious was William Regal.
I was about to say it was William Regal.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need another Cena or Roman storyline.
That was 2008. I think the more serious one was Sheamus.
After Mania, I think a lot of these superstars will have a reset after Mania. Riddle's another Jeff Hardy. No, he's not.
Like William Regal was serious.
Who won 2015? Oh, that was King Barrett.
Yeah, King Barrett. He wasn't that serious though. He was treated as a joke.
Yeah,
he was treated as a
doing
joke.
The whole bad news. He was doing the whole bad news Barrett thing at the time.
That was when he fought Stephen
I would
Amell.
use Cody doing a Dusty Costume.
Remember when Stephen Amell was in WWE?
It was like 2 matches.
Yep. They brought him to AEW because he's friends with Cody.
Now he's doing
a match with Stardust.
Yeah.
Now he's doing a heel show. That show's phenomenal, by the way.
The rumors are we're supposed to be getting King of the Ring as a pay-per-view again this year. Like, we're supposed to be getting it every year now moving forward.
I remember when NXT was doing like their throwback pay-per-views. Like it was like NXT Bad Blood and then NXT In Your House. They were doing like throwback pay-per-views.
They were doing Halloween Havoc
back at Mania, but I guess they're not.
Straight edge. There's different tiers to it though. Just because Riddle's doing drugs doesn't make him like Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy not only did drugs, he showed up to work, high or drunk, not high, but like drunk, DUIs and all that. Riddle hasn't shown up. He's probably shown up to work high, but he hasn't shown up to work under the influence where he hasn't been able to perform, and he's potentially hurt his coworkers and shit.
Until Riddle does that, he's not a Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, he hasn't been caught drinking and driving.
I just love the lax on like some of these moralities that WWE has, it really baffles me because then like, don't get me wrong, I like Xavier Woods, but like Xavier Woods cheated on his wife with Paige.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, come on.
Xavier Woods, when he was with Paige, he was already married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
That whole
Xavier.
Brad Maddox
It was
thing. Yeah.
it was him and Brad Maddox. They were tag teaming her.
No, I know they tag teamed her, but he was married?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy snap. And is he still with the same girl?
Yeah.
To be fair, didn't Bray Wyatt?
They're all married, dog.
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt.
Paige is with Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Xavier was with somebody at that time, honestly. That's crazy.
Well, isn't Bray Wyatt? He cheated on his ex-wife with
Yeah,
JoJo,
Bray Wyatt,
wasn't it?
Bray did. Yeah, Bray did what? I'll call them Bryant, but yeah, Bray Wyatt did with his.
John Cena was married at one point. He cheated on her
Mickey
with one of
James.
the wrestlers.
He showed up to work on crack when he was tested, bro. When you're tested,
Mickey James.
John Cena and Mickey James. Yeah, I've heard that one. But straight edge, just because he tested positive for crack doesn't mean that it means he had it in his system. It doesn't mean that he showed up to work literally on crack, bro.
Who
And
tested positive for that?
He got on his ex-wife.
Hey, crack is really hard to test because you can eat poppy seed dressing and it will show up as crack.
But even then, let's say that he did do crack. It didn't mean that he showed up cracked out to work that he couldn't perform, bro. There's a difference. Jeff Hardy went out to fight Sting and couldn't even stand.
Oh, that shit
I
was
think
crazy.
one thing.
I remember that.
One thing I think WWE did go overboard with was that they instantly fired Mandy Rose instead of like, I don't know.
Yeah, they shouldn't have.
Yeah. That's my point. That's my point. You have people like Xavier Woods that cheat on their wife, but then Mandy Rose, who's not married.
Well, because the
does,
thing is,
OnlyFans
nah, but
thing.
that's different though. That's different. Remember.
There was a video of her.
Remember the video with Paige wasn't for sale or anything. Is that they got leaked because they got hacked or whatever, and they got released. Versus Mandy, who was making money off of her body and selling herself. And yes, they're kind of in the same conversation, but it's different. One is about morality and what you do on your personal time versus selling your identity as a brand.
True.
Mandy Rose is a brand. You got what I'm saying? And she's the only reason she has those followers on that fan club or whatever it's called is because of the WWE. So she's using the WWE to piggyback on her, fan stuff.
I was just so surprised. Like Paige, she was one of my favorites, and like when she left WWE, that surprised me. I always thought if she returned, it would be in WWE because she said like WWE treated her like crap, but like WWE did so much for her.
The thing with Paige is that she wanted to, WWE didn't want to bring her back this time around, and they didn't call her, and she was just
she wanted to wrestle, and they wouldn't let her.
I know,
but she went to the same doctor. Like she got the number from Edge. Edge connected her to the doctor he went to. She did the treatments, and WWE said, "We don't care. We know it worked for Edge, but we don't want you in the ring." And she's like, "Okay, well then I'm just going to go somewhere else."
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, bro. It's not like
nothing wrong with that.
She's doing good in AEW right now.
I lost my respect for Paige. Her crap was leaked. That doesn't matter either, bro. Like you guys need to get off of this high horse, man. Whatever celebrity, like
10 years ago almost.
Whatever celebrity and whatever nobody is freaking clean as a whistle, man. I think LeBron is probably like the only guy, and like there's very few guys like Derek Jeter.
Please. Don't even get me started.
There's very few people. Yeah, no, but you could say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that there's very few people that are clean as a whistle that there's no dirt on them.
Roman got caught doing steroids. Cena.
Everybody has done something.
But at the end of the day, and wrestlers doing steroids, like people want to bring that up like it's such a problem. This is not freaking baseball or sports where they're cheating to freaking hit 100 home runs a season, bro. Like these guys guys and girls need to maintain their body, And then on top of that, I would like to see you fucking go on the road for 365 days a year. Of course you're going to fucking get caught drinking. Of course you're going to get caught fucking doing drugs, smoking weed, and doing all this bullshit because you're on the road like 1,000 days. You know, if you work that long for WWE, it's, you know, so I love seeing the comments of the high horse. Oh, yeah, but this person got caught drinking. This person got caught sucking wieners. And, like, bro, what do you want them to do? They only wrestle in front of us for, like, 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
what
like it's kind of like what Ryback said. Like, Ryback, he's like, because didn't WWE, like, he said that WWE offered him steroids for the pain or something like that, didn't he?
No, but that doesn't. You know,
I heard he might be coming back soon.
There's different kind of steroids, bro. Just because you when you feel sick and stuff like that, and you go to, they give you a shot of steroids, that doesn't mean you're gonna become freaking Popeye, you know, Popeye or whatever. You're not a freaking sailor all of a sudden, and you're gonna fucking get strong.
Yeah, I've gotten that steroid shot before for like pain and stuff.
Yeah,
Ryback like
it's
CM Punk.
It's different.
I can never see Ryback coming back to WWE.
I can't see him coming back. He burned his bridges, bro.
He's been posting a lot of his WWE videos.
Ryback is going to TNA and GCW. That's where he's going. They ain't
They probably don't even want
TNA. I think he could, if he kept his politics to a minimum, I think he could actually help Impact.
Yeah, he can help Impact. No, he definitely can. Impact is, they don't have nobody on their roster. I just looked at their roster tonight. Their roster is very empty.
Look at what Will put.
What? Remember her drama with Del Rio? Even WWE.
No, not that.
Ryback
he
is
said
Goldberg from
Ryback
Wish.
is Goldberg. He said Ryback's Goldberg from Wish.
A lot of people, look, I'll be the first to say I don't like Ryback now, and the stuff that he says on social media is super questionable. Like the guy, like his hot takes are super freaking questionable. I get it. But it's when Ryback was peaking in WWE and he was at the top of the mountain, that guy was freaking loved and head over heels. And you know how people wanted Cody Rhodes desperately in 2K now, and they wanted Bray Wyatt as DLC? That's the same hype that Ryback got when he was in WWE peaking and he wasn't in the game. Everybody wanted him in the game, including myself.
I wanted him to be a champion when I was a kid.
People wanted him to be a champion. And Ryback was super over. So now it's easy to point and say he's a dick, to say that he's an asswipe and all this bullshit, but come on, man. There was a lot of freaking Ryback marks. I bought his shirt for like $35. I know it because I was one of them. Everyone
come out, bro.
He was no Goldberg Wish. He was Ryback, and he was like Goldberg, and they were trying to build him like Goldberg, but he wasn't Goldberg on Wish. He just
Ryback was over because he made my brother, who hadn't watched wrestling in like 5 or 6 years, he made my brother start watching wrestling with me whenever he was on. Because my brother, like, he was like, oh my God, this guy's cool. Like, I remember specifically one time Ryback came over and it looked like he got into a fight because his eye was all messed up for some reason. And, like, he made my brother start watching wrestling again, which I thought was cool.
Because Ryback
was in the same Tough Enough as The Miz and Daniel Puder.
Yeah, he was. And not only that, he was in Nexus too. And then what I was going to say is that he brought to WWE a style of wrestling that had been sorely missed. They tried getting, you guys remember Mason Ryan, I think was his name?
Yep.
You know, WWE was looking for that new big jacked muscular Batista type, Goldberg type, Brock Lesnar type, and they couldn't get it. And Ryback was it, and he was charismatic enough. He had the look, he had the one-liners, he had the cool ring gear, he had the cool finisher. You know, he was just, the cool theme, his gimmick, the feed me more. Like, the guy had the entire package in terms of, like, what WWE should be all about. Or what Vince's WWE should be about. Yeah, and his strength, obviously, you know?
Like, I remember, one of my dream matches was always him versus Braun. Like, I just wanted, like...
Braun Breaker? No, I'm just kidding.
Braun Strowman. Braun Breaker is cool, too, but...
I know, I'm trolling.
But, like, I always wondered, like, who was strong. Obviously, Braun's stronger. But, like, in the WWE world, who was stronger, Ryback or Strowman? And it was like,
I'm telling you,
I
man.
mean, to see the backdrop that Ryback used to do on someone like Braun Strowman would be a spectacle in on itself.
That would be dope. He did it on Mark Henry, bro.
And it was spectacular to see. And I was looking at I was actually looking at his Twitter like yesterday or the day before. I ended up
jacked.
he's still in great shape, but I ended up
He's
going
medically cleared though, from what he said.
I was looking at his Twitter feed though, and I don't feel that bad because he's kind of earned the hate he's gotten. But the reason I feel bad is because all right, let me put an example. I hear him talk or I see his tweets and they annoyed me. Like, I'm bothered by that some guy that I looked up to and I enjoyed his work in WWE. I'm bothered by like his mindset and his like narrative is like something that he's trying to push out there. Like, he was talking about on his live chat the other day that he hates how AEW and WWE and all these like wrestling promotions, how they do their press conferences, because he says that WWE and he said that pro wrestlers, when they're done wrestling and they're not outside performing in the ring, that when they're doing those press conferences, that they should go out there and talk like actors, that they need to be like, yeah, we're athletic actors or some shit like that. I'm like, dude, like, I could tell that he didn't watch the press conference because he was talking about specifically the Elimination Chamber press conference. When Sami Zayn came out at the press conference, he wasn't talking in character. Sami Zayn was talking as the human being Sami Zayn. And right back as
he wanted to be in character.
Yeah, he wants people to come out and not be the character and wholeheartedly admit that wrestling is fake and what they did out there was all bullshit and that he was just playing a character. Like Brad Pitt doing an interview for a movie, instead of talking about like the movie, like he was still in character. So like he wanted to get the Hollywood treatment. It is dumb because he's like, he goes, I think that this would be better for the online wrestling community because, you know, there's a lot of bullying that goes on and the wrestlers, like the win and losses don't matter. The championships don't matter. What matters is telling a good story and being a good actor. And I'm like, yes, I get that too. Wins and losses don't always matter. The story means more than the actual win and the actual loss. But at the end of the day, like, we're watching the soap opera, like, you know, like the novella, like, you know, TV show. You know, the grand finale of every story is a wrestling match. You got what I'm saying? Like, we're here to see the drama between Roman and Sami, but at the end of the day, you always want to see what's going to happen between them in the ring in terms of a match. So it doesn't make any sense for wrestlers to flat out just come out and act like, you know, oh yeah, I was out there acting 30 minutes ago. You guys have any questions about my performance as Roman Reigns? My name is Joe Anoa'i.
Theory didn't do that.
No, Theory didn't though. Theory came out in full-blown character, but Edge did the 50-50. Edge came out, he talked for like Adam Copeland, and then he talked as Edge to leave. He said, "Oh, by the way, I'm answering that doofus's challenge or whatever." You know, there's parts in the press conference that are still story elements and they're using it to further storylines, but there are wrestlers that do come out. Like Cody didn't come out in character. Cody came out and talked, 50-50.
You saw what this guy Morrison said about Logan Paul?
John Morrison?
Yeah, he said Logan Paul doesn't really deserve all the, like from the clip I've seen, he doesn't deserve all the praise he's gotten because he's gotten so much help or something like that.
This is the problem I see.
He didn't necessarily say like that. It was like the video. He was like, he sounded that he was giving him compliments, like backhanded compliments.
Yeah,
they sounded salty.
Yeah,
like double-edged sword.
Yeah, so he was like, he basically said, yeah, man, that he's super impressive, really athletic, and with the working, you can tell 100% that he's gonna be a great wrestler. But after a few years. Like he put that in, and the interviewer was like, basically the interviewer was like, "What do you mean, like a few years? Like this motherfucker just put on he's only had 3 matches.
4 matches, and
he's had like 4 matches, and they're all memorable."
Yeah.
And then
Especially his clash against
basically
Ricochet.
It just seemed like he
Morrison-
kind of was jealous that he
and
was.
Morrison basically responded saying yeah, but then again, he's like, how many wrestlers what do you that he's had a chance to rehearse most of his matches. So he goes, how many wrestlers do you know get to rehearse for an entire month for one match with Shawn Michaels?
He didn't even
Oh,
rehearse the Rumble, bro. He just showed up like 5 minutes before, dressed and ready to.
Nah. But what Brian is saying about John Morrison, that John Morrison is 100% true, right on what he's saying.
Yeah. So he's saying how many wrestlers you know get to rehearse for one match for a month and a half with Shawn Michaels, out of all people. And then he's like, to me, he's like, if I'm not comparing him as a celebrity, if I'm going to compare him as a wrestler, then to me what's going to be more impressive is how is he on when he has to call a match on a fly. You know, how is he when he's working
right.
when he's working a match and things like that. But he's like, but as far as like his individual matches, like, yeah, they've been great. But what people have to realize is that there's a lot of people working on that just one match.
Yeah, to make it that.
Instead of 365 days wrestling in and out on house shows type shit.
Thing is,
you know
I
what?
don't think.
Go.
I don't think that's ever going to happen because Logan Paul, unless he decides one day in the future, which I doubt will happen, that he wants to be a full-time wrestler. But if he's going to be putting on these bangers of a match, even I don't care that he rehearses.
Whatever. We don't care, but we're saying basically as like a peer and like a coworker and things like that. He's basically saying that Logan Paul's overrated because you can grab. He's basically saying, bro, you can grab any wrestler in NXT and any wrestler, whatever, take them off TV and just have them focus on one match for a month and a half, and anybody can put on that type of like shut down the house type match if that's all they have to focus on.
Even so,
I don't agree with that.
All right, wait. All right. So hold on. Let's just go down I'm trying to put in my point. So we'll start off Chase in order. Chase, do you agree with it? Yes or no?
No.
James, do you agree with it? Yes or no?
No.
Marco, do you agree with it? Yes or no? Marco sleepy. Purge, do you agree with it? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
No. Yes or no? One answer. Do you agree with John Morrison? Yes or no?
No.
Brian?
I mean,
no.
I'm not 100% there, but yeah, I agree with him simply because it's been proven. If you take every celebrity, take Bad Bunny, who's not as athletic as Logan Paul. Bad Bunny has nowhere near the gifts as Logan Paul, but Bad Bunny put on
a great
one of the
story
best
match.
fucking shows in WrestleMania. So that proves right there that you can grab anybody and just fucking and train them for
anybody willing to commit
1 month.
Yes.
Willing to commit, and they can put on the best show of the night. If you can do it with Bad Bunny, if you can do it with Jackass, if you can do it whatever, why can't you do it? What he says makes sense. Why can't you get a professional wrestler and give him the same treatment as Logan Paul? And what makes you think they wouldn't be able to shut it down every single pay-per-view? If that's all they had to focus on, and they didn't have to wrestle Raw, they didn't have to wrestle SmackDown weekday, week out, whatever, and just basically time off in the gym with one of the greatest wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, training you. Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
So here's the deal. All right, I'm gonna break it down here for you guys, and you guys can add whatever after. For me, I see why you may or may not agree, whatever, because at the end of the day, it sounds bitter because he has that similar style. He's very acrobatic. He's very athletic. We know that what Logan Paul does, John Morrison could do with his eyes closed, and that's why he's probably saying something like that, because at the end of the day, when he's been in WWE, he's done more stuff on the fly, and hey, you're going out there in 5 minutes and you got to put on this type of match, and he goes on and does a solid job. He doesn't put on those memorable spots like Logan Paul, because let's face it, John Morrison is John Morrison, Logan Paul is Logan Paul. So the biggest factor here to take away from what he's saying is that at the end of the day, taking a celebrity name, using a Bad Bunny, a Logan Paul, back then in the Attitude Era, if he would have been willing to do it, Mike Tyson, just bringing anybody from whatever world of entertainment or sport that they belong in, right? And you bring them in to wrestling to put on what is wrestling, to put on a show, then that person, if they're, you know, coached and they work hands-on with a guy like Shawn Michaels, you know, the guy, they call him the Michael Jordan of wrestling for a reason. This guy is as good as it gets. So when you're able to have a guy like the Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, and you're able to have everyone at the Performance Center monitor and see his mistakes and tweak, you know, what he's working on, and literally hands-on sit down with him and say, hey, Logan, you know, you got to grab the rope like this. You got to jump in by here. You got to use your weight. You got to counter. Like, that kind of coaching and that kind of patience is only given to these celebrities because of the attraction that they bring with them. So Johnny Gargano could probably put on a match with Roman Reigns that'll be 20,000 times better than the match that Logan Paul had with Roman. But we're going to remember the one that
Elimination Chamber was.
For exactly. And the reason being is that Johnny Gargano does this with his eyes closed, and he doesn't need to train and focus on that one match with just, you know, that one producer or whatever, because he is living and breathing the business. Logan's not there. Logan cannot sit there and coordinate a match just merely hours before the show. Can he do it if he had, if given the opportunity? He'll probably do a solid job, yeah, but it's not going to look as clean as they've looked. Look at the people they've had Logan work with. Now he's with Seth Rollins. Before it was with The Miz. Before it
was Ricochet and then The Miz.
Yeah, but I was going to get it. I was naming everybody. I wasn't doing it in order. Point is that all the people Logan has worked with are people that are masters of this craft. They're people that are going to protect Logan and help Logan and sell Logan. Who made Bad Bunny look like $1 million? The Miz and John Morrison. They're guys that live and breathe the industry. And, you know, he's John Morrison, to the average fan or to the average person listening to him answer that question, they're going to say that he's being bitter. I'm saying that he's just being too politically correct and too much of a professional. And he's not realizing that this is Logan Paul, a guy that has a freaking ton of followers across all social media. And the fact that he's willing to train for those months with a Shawn Michaels is impressive regardless of how you slice it.
Well, all he really said was that they're just rehearsed. That's the only thing, is that he's really rehearsed.
Yeah.
And like all the spots and everything.
You could tell his spots are all timed.
And he's basically saying that the other wrestlers, like full-time wrestlers, they don't get that luxury of fucking practicing
at all
that same way. Which is that's why he added, like, if he really sticks to it like a year, 2 years from now, then he's gonna be like super legit.
Yeah, he's saying, bro, this kid, the potential he's showing this early on, he could easily be. And I'm not, you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. And I'm just thinking of someone off the spot, especially because he's feuding with him. But he could be like a Seth Rollins, so to speak, you know? He's a guy that can, if he gets into the industry and uses his gifts, his natural-born gifts, plus what he's learned early on, he could definitely be that next, you know, big superstar within the wrestling world on a level where all the other talents already are. He's not there.
And he did give him that credit. It was just that people took it as like backhanded.
Here's why, like,
it is backhanded though. It is backhanded because honestly, he's talking about a kid from social media who's doing what John Morrison does. You get me? So it comes off as bitter and salty and all those things because John Morrison, let's face it, he's better than Logan Paul. But Logan Paul has already done in 4 matches what John Morrison wished he could do in his whole career.
Yeah. Here's why I said no. like what you guys said, I agree with. But like, my thing is that Logan Paul, he is probably the greatest celebrity WWE superstar that's ever been, in my opinion.
No,
All
he
of
is.
all the ones I know of.
No, he is. There's no doubt about it, bro.
And
I mean,
he's like, this is. Oh, my bad, Lex.
Not even David Arquette was a WCW champion.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that the only one close was like David Arquette that fought for the belt, but it wasn't anything like this.
Like, what I mean is that like, Logan Paul, if he wasn't the social media megastar he was, and he just randomly got the chance to,
he'd be another NXT guy.
He would be. He's like so naturally gifted at this that he would be like a Johnny Gargano or a John Morrison.
He would,
or like a Miz. If I just like you said, the compliments were like double-edged sword compliments or backhanded compliments.
They were,
and they were true. But at the same time, he's doing what, even with all the the training and stuff, he's doing what John Morrison can do.
And not only that too, I want to add this too. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Whichever way we want to slice it, and whatever bashing we want to give Logan Paul, you could be the most athletically gifted human being on the planet. Doesn't mean that you don't fold in a crowd full of 50,000. He's already performed in front of 40,000, 30,000, 20,000. You could say, oh yeah, but he also did the boxing stuff with Mayweather. But my point exactly.
1,000.
What happened?
I like Logan Paul. Despite all the controversies he's had, I've followed Logan Paul since 2016. And
bro, the dude is a very, very.
He's a polarizing figure.
I like Logan Paul too. The only reason I defended John Morrison is because the thing is, like, if you take his comments as in somebody who's critiquing a wrestler and somebody that's not critiquing a celebrity, he's right.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's totally right. He's totally right.
So if you look at Logan Paul as a celebrity, a YouTuber, part time or whatever, then yeah, this motherfucker's being salty. But if you look at him as a wrestler, which what Logan Paul claims he is, and that he plans on doing this and signed a 5-year contract and all that shit, then John Morrison comments are right. They're true.
Well, to be fair, Logan Paul he's always said he's an outsider. The only people that have claimed that
no. Hold on. No.
He's right.
No, bro. Logan Paul said it in his podcast that he thinks he found his calling, that he really wants to do this, and that he's taking it very serious, and that he's in love with this, that he's never done something like this.
You can still be an outsider though, and think this is your calling. His claim to fame is being a YouTuber, but now because has been a YouTuber, it's allowed him to do something that he really excels at. This is a newfound love.
Yes, I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be labeled as an outsider, bro. Logan Paul's not an outsider. Face it, he already fought for the title. He's already main evented pay-per-views. This guy is not an outsider anymore. He's in a year's time, we're gonna have to stop calling him the celebrity appearance because he's about to main event WrestleMania with Seth Rollins.
Yo,
you guys there? Yo. Good night, leader. Yo, you guys there? Hello. Damn, what the hell is going on? Is the stream still live? Yeah, we're still live. Yo, chat, you guys here? Disconnected. Oh, yeah, okay, you guys still here. This shit is tripping. That was getting good. Yeah, it is. Hold on. Let me figure out what's going on. Give me a second. Hold on. I think Discord messed up for me. Yo.
There he is.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, we
the
hear
shit
you.
messed up for me. The shit was messing up. I thought my internet had disconnected, but it was Discord that.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think of Logan as like a jack of all trades. Like pretty much, I mean,
dude, he's in his second WWE video game.
Yeah, no.
That-
I think that Logan Paul in a year's time or so, we're gonna have to stop saying that he's the celebrity filler
I hope
shoe
he
in or
goes
whatever.
full time. I hope he becomes WWE champion or tag team champions with his brother.
He's a
I don't know about
I
that.
I see him as
like-
a part timer. I don't see him as an
But the
outsider
thing
anymore.
is, on top of that too, in the same interview, they talked about John Morrison working with Bad Bunny, and he talked about Bad Bunny as in like a celebrity, basically type of thing. Because they talked about the Canadian Destroyer or whatever
Yeah,
that Bad
came
Bunny
out
did
so
on
good.
him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And John Morrison basically basically said in an interview that that Bad Bunny has all his respect in the world, that he came in ready to work, and that he says that there's probably a lot of celebrities out there that are capable of doing the Canadian Destroyer like on him, but there's not a lot of people that he would allow to do that on him. But he said that Bad Bunny is one of the people that earned it, that he earned that move.
Damn, that's dope. Yeah, because that move is dangerous, dog.
So that kind of praise coming to Bad Bunny, that's the type of praise that comes from that wrestlers would give outsiders or like movie stars or singers coming in or whatever.
Yeah.
The criticism that I saw him take Logan Paul was more of like a peer talking to a peer.
Yeah, no, that's the way I'm taking it too. I don't think he's bashing him, honestly.
Also, Logan, he's not only like, he's also working out something with the UFC right now, isn't he? He's like
he's
sponsoring. The Prime, his little sports drink became the official drink of UFC.
Yeah.
That and him and Dana have been apparently trying to find an opponent for him or something like that.
Nah, it's
It was only the drink. It was only the drink deal.
Just a business deal for his drink.
And his brother's the one that wants to fight in MMA.
No, he wants to do boxing.
Yeah.
No, Jake Paul signed the contract with the PFL to fight MMA.
Yeah, he's fighting MMA. His brother. Yeah.
Yeah, he signed with the PFL.
He's gonna get destroyed. He wasn't a wrestler like Jake or Logan.
Remember the deal between Jake Paul and Anderson Silva? If Jake Paul wins, Anderson has to train him how to fight MMA style. So he's got Anderson Silva as a trainer.
Like, because I remember watching, like, he out wrestled Paulo Costa one time. Logan.
Oh, like mess around, like training. Oh yeah, because Paulo Costa was chilling with Jake.
Yeah, they wrestled each other. They also spar.
Yeah,
this knows the time. When they get going, we're gonna have to be
VJ.
able to work at like freaking like 7:30.
Damn, VJ,
Oh,
you're
man.
in there, bro. Thanks for tuning in, Brody.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
thanks for doing this.
No problem.
Have a good night,
you guys. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I mean, at some point, we're going to have to stop saying that Logan is a celebrity. He's a WWE superstar, damn it.
Like Logan?
I mean, I would say Logan's the first person. Okay, we've talked about wrestlers going into Hollywood. Logan's kind of like the first celebrity to actually make it big in wrestling.
Yeah, but, you know,
I put Logan Paul in the same category as Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that's I was about to say this now too, because
I feel like he's like even done even better than Rousey has.
I know, but I'm talking about like as the same as like
attraction.
Like part timer ish, like real part timer ish, full time, like real wrestler type of thing.
Yeah. That he's bro. Ronda's considered a star in WWE.
Like
he's considered a part-time star.
Ronda is like nowhere near
I'd be a star, but she's a pretty boring star.
No. But Brian is not saying that, bro. He's saying that like Logan is no longer a celebrity. He's a part-timer star, a special attraction.
He's not Jackass or Steve-O coming in for a match. Like he's not a spectacle.
I consider
He's
him
an
a celebrity.
He's an
WWE superstar.
actual wrestler on the roster.
Yeah, he's an actual wrestler on the roster. No, he is. He is.
Like he can still be a celebrity, but he's also a wrestler. That's how
Well,
I see it.
their story that they're putting him on is that he's still a celebrity, and just like Ronda is that she's still an MMA phenom. But at the end of the day, Ronda Rousey is a WWE women's part-timer, and Logan Paul is a men's WWE
UFC
part-timer.
They don't really like Ronda, I guess.
Who?
UFC.
No, Dana loves Ronda.
UFC loves her. She's a Hall of
I've
Famer.
seen they don't really like Ronda.
Nah, bro, Dana loves her, and he's gone to the events to see her and everything to support her.
Like
people that say they don't like Ronda, it's competition. It's that competitive jealousy, you know.
Yeah, nah, Ronda. It's already gotten past that. The people in UFC respect Ronda and love Ronda, bro.
Like
every woman in UFC thanks her for breaking the ice for them, like for breaking the barrier.
Like I remember, like Ronda, she was good, but she wasn't like her striking was awful, but she was good with submissions and like wrestling and stuff.
I mean, bro, she just really beat people up really fast and was very, very, you know.
I know.
Good at what she was very good at what her strengths were. The problem was that she got cocky, she settled, and she thought she could go toe to toe with a striker and strike. She thought she could go toe to toe with a powerhouse striker and strike, and that was her biggest downfall. That she just ultimately kind of gave in. The stardom, the sport itself outgrew her. She just
didn't want to get better. She didn't
exactly. She kind of settled. I can't speak for her, but I'm just speaking as a spectator. She didn't improve, and once they found her weakness, they obliterated her out of the UFC.
She didn't evolve, bro. That's all it was.
She what?
She didn't
evolve.
She
didn't evolve. Exactly, she didn't evolve.
She didn't fight Amanda Nunes, didn't she? I can't.
Yeah, she did.
That was her last fight that she got fucked up.
That was a retirement.
She got knocked out on her feet.
It really messed her up when she lost to Holly Holmes.
Yeah,
that's
because
what I'm thinking of.
That's why if you listen to what I said she went up against a striker. The striker is Holly Holm, and then I said she went against a powerhouse striker. That was Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes knockout was way worse.
Cyborg too?
No, bro, Amanda Nunes killed her.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes knocked out Ronda and Cyborg.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes is the greatest women's
scary. Like I know
fighter of all time.
For sure,
I know
sure.
Amanda Nunes she beat Cyborg, but I still find Cyborg scarier.
Amanda Nunes is a killer.
The greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, I consider Amanda Nunes like John Jones and shit.
I've never been a big fan of John Jones. It's really sad what happened.
No, I don't like John Jones, but I'm saying I consider him like, you know, John Jones is arguably the best, you know, in that class.
The greatest of all time.
So
I think the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
George
Like,
St.
it's debatable. It's either George St. Pierre or
Iceman.
Chuck Liddell.
No, not Chuck. I do like Chuck. It's either George or Anderson.
Anderson Silva. Oh yes, Anderson Silva just overextended his welcome.
But the thing is, John never lost.
Yeah, no, John never lost the.
I know that. I'm just saying, like,
he's just not. He makes it hard to like him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He has like the greatest fight IQ in UFC history, even better than George St. Pierre. But I still think George St. Pierre, even though he's lost, I still think he was better.
No, the only reason these guys have all losses because they remember fighters typically overstay their welcome.
It surprised me when George St. Pierre stood up at the Elimination Chamber.
You don't know that. Yeah, I was surprised that he was there too. You don't know that your time is up until your time is up, and then you think that it was just a fluke, and then you go back and you get pounded again. You know what I'm saying? That happens to fighters a lot. They tend to like. That's what really scares me about Tyson Fury. That he's so good and all this shit. At some point, that guy is gonna lose.
I don't know.
A lot of
Mayweather
people,
never lost.
because he's a cheater. He ended up fucking handpicking all his opponents at the end of his career when they could have easily beaten him if he would have fucking lined up when he needed to line up against him.
Because I know that Tyson Fury and Francis, they're gonna fight or something like that, or I know.
Yeah,
Tyson,
but that's exactly my point. That's what I was telling Brian. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Well, yeah, he's more than likely gonna outskill Ngannou, but Ngannou could still surprise him. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyson Fury he's getting close to that point in time that he's gonna meet his maker, bro.
I think Tyson Fury is gonna beat Ngannou because Ngannou is basically what's his face 2.0.
Another Wilder. Another power puncher that's not as skilled in boxing. I get it. But at the end of the day,
he's gonna have to get lucky or something, or there's gonna be specific rules, or like, is it gonna be a boxing or is it?
Yeah, it's boxing. It's
gonna be boxing, which he can get lucky because Wilder's fucking he knocked out Fury, and then Fury got up. Did the Undertaker get up?
Yeah, he knocked him down.
Before the countdown went off, Fury did the Undertaker sit up and won the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, bro, he knocked him down a couple times, dude. He almost met his maker. That's what I'm saying. He's really close to already losing. It's just about lining it up. And he's not like Mayweather that handpicks his opponents and he's scared. He's gonna pick the best of the best, and whoever fucking calls him out, and whoever's gonna get that money. He's not gonna handpick. Mayweather handpicked a lot of people.
I just don't think Ngannou's gonna do it because, like you guys said, he's just a less skilled Wilder.
I don't think he is either, and he's not supposed to. But it's
doing it for the money.
My problem with Mayweather was never his skill; it was the sheer lack of respect for your fellow man. Like, he's a very self-absorbed personality.
But this dude doesn't. He's like that about everything.
That's a wrestling gimmick, man.
I mean, even if Fury does lose, it's in my opinion,
Mayweather did do the gimmick. My problem with Mayweather is not just the trash talk. Oh, I'm gonna beat you. This isn't that. Is the wife beating stuff? Is all the extra stuff that it makes it hard to like him as a person. You get me? He doesn't.
It's like how. Remember, he broke Big Show's nose on purpose. Like, he later on, he was like, "Yeah, I wanted to show the big man who's boss," and I was like, "What the fuck,
come
dude?
on, dude! That was he was scared of the Big Show, dude. He didn't want to fucking break his face."
Big Show said he wanted.
Big Show was like 3 feet taller than.
Come on.
Big Show actually did tell him to actually punch him though, because
to punch him hard. No, he did. Big Show, he slipped. But he didn't mean to do it. He was scared after that shit ended. He was running away from Big Show backstage.
Yeah, because Big Show actually, he was actually angry.
Big Show was ready to kill him.
Yeah, Big Show got fucking mad, but
dude, that shit's 100%. Like, I don't believe anything that dude on TV. They've actually somebody like called him out on it one time. It was like recorded on video. Because remember when he first started boxing, his name was Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd. Yeah.
And then he was an Olympian, undefeated boxer. I think at that point he's already a 2-time champion. And this dude was still on the undercard. Like, he wasn't making any money. And he told the dude straight up, like, nobody cared until when I was Pretty Boy Floyd, until I became Money Mayweather.
No, that is true.
Like I remember, like, Big Show said he blacked out for like 5-10 seconds when he broke his nose.
And on top of that, he doesn't drink alcohol.
That's crazy, though. I wonder why he beat up his wife then.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she lied, dog. You know how these girls be.
Could be.
I don't know.
That's what's so sad about humanity is that you get these poor women that do get beat, and then people don't believe them because there's women out there that lie.
No, yeah, but I don't know. I never saw anything about the Mayweather stuff. I just read about that he's known to be a wife beater and shit, and every fighter that's ever fought him has called like used that as like a little poking the bear. Yeah, it's like a little jab that they've thrown at him, but I've never actually seen like it's not like Chris Brown and Rihanna, you know.
So do y'all really, like, going back to the UFC thing? Do y'all think that Jones is going to beat Cyril?
Probably.
I think so.
Most likely.
Yeah, if he ain't doing steroids again and they call off the fight.
Like, I hope not. I really like Cyril gone, but Nolan Jones, he's gonna beat him.
Honestly, bro, if UFC needs John Jones to win, because John Jones is a very like hyped up name, you know what I'm saying? He's a big sell.
I just don't think he deserves any like of the chances that he's been given.
Well, he's that good though. That's why he gets them.
Yeah. When you're the
I
greatest
know,
of
it's
all
just like
time.
Dana White is just.
Nah, bro. Like, it's what I said about the wrestling earlier, man. I have a very, like, so here's the thing. Like, I don't like him. I'm not a fan of his, but I respect him. And then he doesn't handpick his opponents. My problem with Mayweather and the problems I have with Mayweather is not just a gimmick or that he's he plays a despisable guy or whatever. Because I've seen his interviews. He actually talks like a cool dude or whatever when he's trying to be a cool dude. It's when you are talking to, Floyd Mayweather, the man versus, the money promoter or whatever, businessman, it's a different ball game. My problem is, between the wife beating and the handpick opponent. Like, I wanted him to fight like Pacquiao younger. I wanted him to fight so many other fighters at a different stage than what he did. So it really it rubbed me the wrong way.
He made sure he got Canelo, and Canelo was super young.
Yeah, and then he made sure to get Canelo when he was super young, and he never fought Canelo when Canelo rose to that big heavy, because that's at that point, Canelo was already, bigger and badder and shit, and Mayweather was older. So obviously that fight wouldn't make sense when you're fucking, putting your legacy at stake. So my whole thing is that, like, I didn't really see him as like that true honorable fighting champion. And when I'm like, I didn't see him like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury talks shit. Oh, I'm gonna beat you up or whatever. But he's very respectful or whatever, and that's his gimmick until you get disrespectful with him. But he fights every challenger, no matter who it is. He literally came out of retirement and he was freaking like washing away, and he came out of retirement because Wilder called him out. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this.
What's up?
Let me ask you this. How much would you say MMA and pro wrestling like inspire each other? Like how much would you say they inspire?
I think MMA inspires pro wrestling more than the other.
They're all one and the same. Just one's evolved and the other one's not. Wrestling, professional wrestling. If you go back far to like the 30s, 40s, like you want to look into the history, professional wrestling was real.
Oh, it goes farther. It goes farther back to the 1800s.
Yeah, so professional wrestling used to be real. Wrestling professional wrestling used to go back. They used to basically like the circus. They used to be like carnies, right?
Yeah.
And they used to do like shoot fights for real. But the thing is that they realized that they were getting hurt for real because they were fighting for real, which means they weren't able to wrestle as much when they went town to town, which means they made less money.
Yeah, they weren't as available.
I believe in the 20s that career.
So what they started doing instead of fighting for real, they basically started scripting or pulling punches and things like that just so they can do it every night and make more money. So the thing is, if you go back to like the origins of like New Japan, if you realize New Japan's like half of their Hall of Famers are all MMA pro fighters.
Yeah, they are.
If you go back to Sakuraba, I haven't seen them. If you go to Sakuraba, who's one of the most famous New Japan wrestlers back in the day, his nickname in MMA is actually called the Gracie Killer, because back in the day in the 90s when nobody could figure out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sakuraba was the first person to ever beat Royce Gracie.
Damn, man, I know Royce Gracie was a big timer.
Yeah, he was a big timer, and the person that beat him in a real MMA fight was Sakuraba. So Sakuraba was a professional wrestler
from New Japan.
And if you go back to the Attitude Era, you had Ken Shamrock, who was the UFC's first heavyweight champion. You had Dan Severn, who in MMA right now he's like he has the highest win record in MMA history. He's retired. He's like 70-something years old, but that motherfucker, his record is like 367 and like 40-something. Dan Severn, he He was in the Attitude Era. WWE. He was in WWE. Shinsuke Nakamura, well, obviously used to be a MMA fucking fighter. Obviously, you know Ronda Rousey, you know
Shayna
Brock
Baszler.
Lesnar, like
Bobby Lashley,
Shayna Baszler, like they all intermingle professional wrestling and MMA. There's like the only difference is that here in America in the Western world, we try to separate one as like entertainment and the other one as sport. But if you go across the world, like Japan, it's like they're like in the same family, but just different segments.
Also, a lot of like UFC. I mean, I know it's not the only thing
entity
MMA company in the US, but like UFC, a lot of its fighters like to poke fun at wrestling.
Yeah, no, but that's that's
why
everyone's
I was
favorite pastime.
But those are really uneducated ones. Because if you look at Daniel Cormier, DC, he is the biggest WWE fan you ever meet.
Oh yeah, man. That's why they brought him that's why they brought him to Extreme Rules to referee that match.
I completely forgot about
man. The only ones that really make fun of pro wrestling are the people that are the meatheads that don't fucking understand it, like Conor McGregor and shit like that.
Yeah, I never gave it time of day.
Ronda Rousey said when she first came to WWE that was what she wanted her career to be, but she didn't know how to get into the business, so she went into MMA.
Yeah, after the Olympics.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and I just told you Rampage Jackson too wanted to be a professional wrestler. Like they're all intermingled.
I think the biggest thing to take away here is that if you look at the roster and you look at a lot of the superstars, whether it's AEW, New Japan, WWE, TNA, whatever, GCW, I don't know, whatever company, whatever wrestler, like you could tell who really takes the MMA element of, pro wrestling into consideration versus the one that just strictly wants to be a performer. Like The Miz wants to be a performer.
Yeah, you can even take Matt Riddle.
No, Matt Riddle's legit. Yeah, he's legit. No, he just got. Didn't he just get like a black belt recently or purple belt or something?
People actually forget, but when he was fired from the UFC, which is actually the same reason why he's in rehab right now in WWE, but when Dana White fired him, Matt Riddle was actually the top 5 welterweight in the world,
which is insane. And Karrion Kross.
Matt Riddle was like 1 or 2 wins away from fighting fucking GSP back in the day.
And you remember, Brian, I sent you the other day the picture of Karrion Kross just earned his black belt.
Yeah, fucking Karrion Kross is a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Like, I know Daniel Bryan's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I don't know what his fucking belt was.
Yeah,
I know this. I'm really starting to think like we're closer to getting a UFC versus WWE crossover before like an AEW versus WWE crossover.
I just want to see Brock.
AEW did it with
Yeah, AEW did it. America Top Team.
With American Top Team.
Yeah. A Brock versus Bobby Lashley MMA style match. Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
I just want to see that, bro.
Yeah. I think that Jake Hager had an MMA style match in AEW. They already did that.
Y'all remember the brawl? They should do that nowadays.
We need Brock and Bobby in the fight pit, bro.
Jorge Masvidal was in AEW.
Yeah, right. So like I'm saying, man, only the meatheads are the ones that are really gonna talk shit. But if anybody that respects the history of either MMA or if you respect the history of pro wrestling, they know that
that
guy history is aligned.
Well, Dan Lambert, I think his name is, right? The coach of America Top Team. Yeah, he's a huge pro wrestling nerd.
Cain Velasquez was trashing on WWE back in, I think, when he was fighting Brock. And
but that was bullshit, though. Man. Cain Velasquez is Mexican and stuff, man. He comes from a background that...
Cain Velasquez, before Cain even went to the WWE, he was fucking fighting on the Mexican circuit for the longest already.
Yeah. Cain Velasquez is probably like whatever you saw was probably him just poking the bear, messing around. But Cain Velasquez comes from a culture where lucha wrestling is like life, like that.
Super respected.
I think that's what upsets me the most about MMA is when they do bash WWE, like you were saying, Lex. They're the uneducated ones.
No, that was Brian that said that. But yeah, no, it is, and you can't really say it to everybody. It's boxers and MMA fighters that sit down like Conor McGregor and think that they could do what they do. Like Conor McGregor thinks that he could go to WWE. He's already said it before. He thinks he could go to WWE and break off whoever he wants or whatever, and that he could do what they do, and that's nothing to him type shit.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Like
He
those
get
are
his ass.
I don't think he has a ton of charisma, so I don't think he lacks in that
He
department,
does,
but
but
like,
if you take Conor McGregor's, if you take the F-bombs and the curse words out of his crazy antics, he's just gonna be a loudmouth shorty.
I think
he's like
he just needs like a humbling or whatever. Like he just, I don't know.
He can't be humbled. He's lost multiple times and he's still not humbled.
Nah. Remember, bro, that's his gimmick. He has to sell to make that bread. That's why he's still one of the most highly attracted fighters.
That fight he made against Mayweather, they both made around like $400 million.
They want to fight again.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see like a yelling contest between Conor, Tyson Fury, Paddy Pimblett, and Gordon Ramsay.
Paddy Pimblett, that guy was feuding with words with MJF. MJF showed up to the UFC event to see him.
In my opinion, there's no better crap talker than Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, the chef.
There's a fight I want to see. MJF and Gordon Ramsay. The amount of F-bombs that would fly.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be good.
You fucktard. Oh, you calling me a fucktard.
Fucking donkey.
Well, guys, I reached the end of the road here. We got to 3 hours. We killed it, man. It was a great stream. I think we might be doing this once a week where we do an open challenge like the United States title. We'll do an open challenge. We'll do members only for the watch parties and then open challenges every so often.
I think that's going to be turning into an Austin Theorist on me.
What's up? What did you say? Oh,
I said, just don't be turning into an Austin Theorist on me.
Hey, look.
What's up?
Whenever you get 2K23, we should totally do like a War Games online.
War Games. For sure, bro.
All of us play, bro. That would be sick.
So in closing, you guys want to add anything out?
You the GOAT.
Subscribe, hit the like.
Smash that beautiful like button.
Thank you guys, man. I'm going to freaking leave the voice chat now, man. I'm going to hit the hey. Thanks for tuning in and talking up a storm with me, guys.
Night, man. No problem, man. Have a good night.
Good night, guys. Peace out. Peace out, Brian.
Peace.
Later, y'all. So, yeah, folks. Great stream. Loved it. Had a blast. Glad we got it. We were able to talk about 2K23. We were able to talk about some storylines. We left some conversations for tomorrow. It's about that time. How's it supposed to feel? That's how I feel right now. My eyes are already starting to burn a little bit, so I'm gonna take that as a sign that I need to go to sleep-a-roo-roo. Good night. I'll see y'all later. Love you guys. Peace out, Sammy. Good night, good night, good night.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? Supposed to feel. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.